Hello, everybody. It's the Tuesday night marathon. My name is Paul Whitehead. I'm here with Andrew Ballantyne and his son.
Andrew Ballantyne.
A couple of Andrew Ballantynes playing chess. Andrew Ballantyne, I'm going to let you guess which, is playing in his first chess tournament. And his dad is accompanying him. So how'd you do in your first game?
I lost.
Okay.
You've been winning too much, that's why.
You know what? I lost my first chess tournament game too. I remember losing. And one of my first chess tournament games held here at the Mechanics Institute, I lost. And I remember I went into the bathroom and cried. I did. I was like, ah. I was younger than you though. I was like a little, maybe not too much younger. How old are you?
I am 11.
You're 11. Okay. So you're playing in your first chess tournament?
Yes.
Okay. Well, congratulations. Not everybody plays in a chess tournament. Yeah. And you've got 7 more rounds to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we were talking just a second ago about chess and neural networks, and so Andrew, you know, we're going to dive right in here. We're going to ignore the tournament that's going on at the first round of the Summer Tuesday Night Marathon. Just start tell me about neural networks.
Well, the thing about neural networks is you train it again and again, and it almost senses the solution, but it can never explain why it came up with that solution. So that's one of the challenges with AI is you can never go back to that AI neural network and say, how did you come up with this? You can't backtrack on that solution. But with a human being you can do. So that's one of the big differences.
Are you going to try to get them to explain themselves?
Yeah. So that's one of the big differences. But it's interesting when you apply neural networks to chess because you are sensing moves based on almost like feelings, machine feelings anyway, which is interesting. But it's normally neural networks, you train them to a very specialised thing. You can look for birds in the air or look for tanks if it's military. But it's very hard to train it to do like chess. So that's a big development, which I don't know the details of. So
right.
People used to train it for checking for tanks, but then it was confused because sometimes it was finding clouds in the sky because it happened to train on the clouds rather than the tanks.
I see.
So, but that's it. When I was studying, that was a bit as sophisticated as it got anyway. But now it's applied to chess, and I think it'll be applying rules along with neural networks. So if you combine not just neural networks with different algorithms together.
Right. Will they make the trains run on time?
I don't know. But
do you know what your dad's talking about at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do too. Yeah. Well, I've been watching it with chess. Like I said, we saw the incredible games between AlphaZero and Stockfish. Some of those games that were where AlphaZero was playing like a superhuman kind of chess player, and tying Stockfish up in the same way that Stockfish would tie humans up. Yeah. It was kind of nice to see, so you're involved in that world.
I studied AI a little bit, but I don't apply it to my workday really. What I get is a whole lot of people applying AI to problems they shouldn't apply AI to, So it makes sense. It makes sense for recognizing faces and driving cars and things like that. But some other things are less less applicable anyway.
Yeah. I like it with chess and art, and with the art. Chess is got an art to it, it's interesting to see the mixture of art and technology, I think. So what brought you to this is what brought you to the Mechanics Institute was chess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You came here to get beaten. He's been winning too much. So,
So you've been taking the Saturday classes with Elliot and Carla, or
she's been Carla.
just been Carla?
Yeah.
Okay, so that we have a free Saturday class that taught by woman grandmaster Carla Heredia, and do you think she's teaching you some good stuff?
Yes.
Right, that's good.
I've definitely improved.
You've definitely improved, yeah. You got to take your knocks in chess. It's one of those things you can't just go like all the way and win all your games, and it's you're gonna definitely, even the best players in the world lose on occasion. They have, it's a really rough game. Yeah, it's brutal. Yeah. So you're a part of the chess club. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're dragging your dad along as well. Do you have any brothers or sisters, or does your mom come up here at all?
My sister Maisie does come up.
Yeah.
She's starting to take the lessons, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she's coming on Saturday as well, but she went on the Sunday. She did the Sunday class and really enjoyed that.
Okay, we have a free Sunday class for women and girls. So it sounds like you're in for some competition. Whether she can take both classes, you can only take the one.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, chess has traditionally been a tough thing for women and girls to get into, and we're trying to make it easier to do, a more friendly place for women and girls to play chess and to learn how to come and play chess. And one of our teachers is a woman grandmaster. Anyway, everyone is welcome here at the Mechanics Institute.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a look at? I'm a chess master. I'm a FIDE master, and part of what people want me to do here is to go over the games of our games that are being played on our top boards, which we now have the DGT boards on, and we're going to soon be challenging the Moscow Chess Club.
Right, yeah.
And and the Glasgow Chess Club, and the Edinburgh Chess Club, and and the Mount Davidson Chess Club, and wherever you are, we'll come and find you and challenge you to a match on the DGT board. So this is the top board, which is Chambers, FIDE Master Chambers versus National Master Michael Walter. And let's just play some moves if anybody... by the way, Juan, I can't see any commentary. I don't know if we have commentary or if people are doing that or what on Twitch. Because we're being broadcast on Twitch, even though we didn't sort of advertise it this time around because there were other things going on. So I'm aiming my commentary at mostly club players. I think, I'm not, I enjoy that. I enjoy explaining things to try to educate the chess player. And I believe in simple kind of chess strategy. Maybe I play kind of simply too, people would say, but so this is a Sicilian defense where white has opted not to play a quick d4, and instead has brought his queen knight out as sort of a close Sicilian, followed by this Rossilimo bishop b5. Rossilimo was a famous chess player, and this if we go back to here, which for some reason I can't do. I can't do it by clicking on. Where is my mouse? It's all the way over there. Okay. Do I have a frozen chessboard? I think I have a frozen chessboard. Is this the one?
Yeah, because that's
Okay. So this is the Sicilian defense. Okay, and white is developing, and black decides to fianchetto the bishop. White messes up the black side pawns just a little bit, and then proceeds to develop. Both players are sort of developing. I'm not sure this bishop to g4 move was advised. Might not have been. Knight e5 looked like a good reply. It's difficult to find a good plan here for black, I think, or it might be. White's developing, and that turned out to have been a loss of time. And white's developing very quickly a powerful initiative with this. There was a loss of time, and now we can see, now the immediate threat is something like queen g5. Already, the black is under terrible siege here. It looks almost lost. Bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop, queen c7 attacks the knight. So black is still hanging in there. And white is thinking in real time. In real time. And we can see over there, somewhere down in there is the players. They have all kinds of content like this on the internet now, of videos on YouTube.
We watched every night almost, haven't we?
We are now archiving all of our videos onto YouTube after putting them up on Twitch, and there's so this is we're just one part of the crowd. But we're doing something unique, which is a club. We're not playing. We're not sitting in our underwear, folks, in our bedrooms playing chess with other players. We're in a club. We're trying to give you a view into an amazing chess club. If you live somewhere, you might wish you had access to a club like this. If you're in the Bay Area, you do have access to this club. But if you're maybe in a small town somewhere, this is kind of a dream of chess. To belong to a place like this where grandmasters come in and give lectures that you can watch on a regular basis. A thriving chess club with a lot of members and a lot of tournaments and a lot of activity. And now we even show some of our, just our regular old games, and so it's a bit of a unique channel of, I think, for chess and the kind of instruction. And we, do you know who Caruana is? Okay, he's the number 2 player in the world, and he played a match for the World Chess Championship earlier this year, or was it late last year, and he lost, but he's still the number 2 player, and he was here, and I got to interview him I asked him some really hard questions, like what's your favorite color, and how does the horsey move? That one had him stumped. So, but he, so we're all over the place right now. We're not sure what's working. This seems to work for us, and we do different kinds of things. And it's with this kind of technology, and we're just starting to get into it. If anybody has any ideas, let us know. Okay, so let's look at another game. White is now probably threatening knight to g5, and maybe continuing the attack that way. So black is under pressure. All right, let's see. Board number 2 is an international master. Elliot Winslow is black, and he's playing a strong expert, David Askin. And Elliot is the California senior chess champion. He's an international master. He is the pride of the chess club. He's, he wins this tournament more often than not. This is round 1 of the Summer Tuesday Night Marathon. He wins more often than not, and he wins this tournament all the time. It's crazy. It's crazy how many times he wins this. So he's black. Sometimes he's a bit rusty, and he. So somebody's playing the 4 pawns. This is called the 4 pawns attack against the King's Indian, and it's transposing into a kind of a Benoni. This is a very aggressive line for white. I don't know much opening theory, but this is, this is like, I'm going to kill you or get killed. It's kind of chess opening. Look at. Like I said, I think this is book. Queen b6, Queen d2, Knight a6. Black quickly brings out piece d6, Bishop d7, h3. Complicated. Very complicated. I probably, if I knew the book, I could tell everybody my book analysis, but I don't know it, so I'll just say it's complicated. Yeah, a lot of cut and thrust, and you can see that this is, as far as I know, this is still opening theory. And I'm not, in other words, that this has all been seen before, and in books and stuff like that. So.
But there's a good half-hour advantage in time as well.
I noticed that myself. That one player has taken hardly any time. The white player, let's see, is starting to use up a little more time. But yeah. White looks like he might play bishop to e7. Bishop going into this square. Looks, or maybe the knight would come to this square.
That was the only thing.
Is a possibility to bring another piece towards the attack. Queen b2 though is a possibility if you play knight e4. Queen b2, bishop b2, rook b1, and then my rook comes down here, attacks your bishop, and then is going to come down there. So knight e4 is a possibility. All right, so that's round 2. This is this is board 3. I'm sorry, not round 2, but board 2. This is Tenzing Shah, master, versus Christian Clemens, experts. And let's see what's going on in this game. Petrov defense with knight c4, and so it looks like almost like a Fischer random opening, starting to get that Fischer random opening.
I don't feel like that's a compliment.
Any questions? That game, I played that game over sort of, this is a very sort of how a lot of chess looks like nowadays in a way. This kind of simple openings where both players aren't solving much, or aren't setting each other, not like the opening we just saw. This is the other opening, which is maybe many moves into theory. This game is already out of theory by the 7th move, I think. Yeah, or maybe even earlier, possibly by the 6th move. Then both players are, White's definitely trying to take this game out of. And consequently, Black has a fine game, and we're getting a kind of a king side, opposite side castling, and both sides are throwing their pawns up, which is typical of that kind of, all right, you castle over there, I'm going to attack you, and your castle's over there, I'm going to attack you. I'm not sure that black should have played bishop g4 on the last move, because maybe he should just have gone right away and played h4. Bishop g4 is kind of flashy looking, right? Because if white plays knight takes d5, queen takes e2. But what happens after the queen retreats is that white is left with white can play knight takes g4, and black can't play h4 now because of knight g4. So maybe black played this, which develops the last piece. And, it's a game, folks. It's a game. And so that's board 3. Things are very tense. Board 4. Let's look at this really quickly. And board 4 of the Summer Tuesday Night Marathon, which has started with well over 100. How many players do we have total registered, Reka? Well, over 100. There's over 100. Over 100 players have registered, and you can see some of them are in that room, and then there's another room that people are playing chess in, and then there's the Skittles room, which is behind me through a door back there.
And there's only half the room there. There's not half at the other side as well.
Yeah, that's right. If we could swivel the view of the chess room, we'd see another whole side of the chess room with people playing chess in there too. So a very active club, particularly on Tuesday nights. Okay, so this is Kuchek versus Wong, and Wong is a master, and Kuchek is a strong, he's an expert, I think, and unambitious play by White. White is not trying much here, and particularly this makes it even. Black has no problems here whatsoever. And let's go back and we'll take a quick look at that and the reasons why. First of all, okay, we have another Petrov defense. White plays this move, and we get into this a kind of very unambitious for White. Black could have, of course, played e5 there, but e6 is fine. And then we're just an h3 and 8. Let's see. This to me, White playing a3 here, and then h3 here is a sign of amateur style chess, where you play. I mean, these kind of moves have been out of style for over 150 years, so let's just say that's very amateurish style. White's trying, White is playing completely without ambition here and has lost the advantage of the first move. On the other hand, Black's not winning, but that's kind of beside the point. And now we have Natalia Sodakova, one of my favorite Tuesday Night Marathon players, and she's playing Tom Mazer, who is now in the high A expert class, but Tom has been a master before, as is Natalia, and so Tom is able to pull the occasional brilliant move out of his hat. So okay, so let's see how this game is going. And this is a Queen's Indian and an old variation that I don't know anything about. Oh, but speaking of which, this is a variation that I think that Alpha Zero crushed as White, crushed Stockfish as Black. So they're following that game. where in fact I'm pretty sure we are following that game, but I'm not sure how far we're following it. White has sacrificed a pawn and is not playing probably as brilliantly as Alpha Zero. And so White has sacrificed a pawn and has the two bishops, but Black is very solid, and if Black can consolidate, a pawn is a pawn is a pawn is a pawn is a pawn. So right now, it's still unclear. Will White be able to pull something out of the hat with the two bishops and the lead in development that she has right now? That's the kind of thing you don't want to start slowing down in positions like this. You gotta maintain. Okay, so here we are. We're on the mid probably strong expert players on these boards. And a delayed exchange, delayed Steinitz with the delayed exchange. Okay, this is the most famous opening of all, the Roy Lopez opening for White. Roy Lopez was famous for saying, always, he was the strongest chess player in the world in the 1400s, way back when. And he was famous for saying, always arrange the chessboard so that the light shines in your opponent's eyes. So he liked to win. Yeah. All right. And, okay. So, but he's the father of this famous chess opening. And Black plays the Morphy defense, a6, bishop a4, and then plays the exchange, plays an exchange variation. And this is the Steinitz defense for Black. Very solid kind of play by Black. Black is going to maintain this pawn at e5, even if to his dying breath. That's an interesting move, and would not occur to me to trade the bishop for the knight there, giving Black two bishops versus two knights. And that is a pretty unusual type of thing to do. And usually you don't want to do it, all things being equal, because the bishops have long range power, especially in combination. But some people like playing with the two knights. You've got to be careful. So this is an interesting battle. Queen c2, folks, threatens queen b3 check and wins the bishop. Oh no, it's not check, but it threatens queen b3 with a discovered, with a knight discovered attack, and threatens the bishop there. So Black is a little cramped, and that's a problem for Black. But if the position gets opened for the two bishops, then So, yeah. Is any of this commentary sort of beyond you folks? Are you learning from it?
Oh, yes, you're learning.
Yes.
Am I explaining things well, or too complicated, or not complicated enough?
It's interesting to hear about all the openings, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to, like I said, trying to aim my commentary at the club player, and we have club players playing. These are players that play in our chess club regularly. They're strong players. They're on our top 10 boards. One day you'll be on those top 10 boards, and we'll be making commentary about your brilliant moves.
Yeah.
And
do you want to do your second game? Ready for second game?
Can do it.
I know.
Well, we have to take a break soon because we need to get in there
okay.
to get the cast. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll be ready, and I'll be ready. Let me go over this one more game. We're going to take a quick break here, but I'm going to just go over quickly Ivanov versus Melville. Let's see, Ivanov, and we have this eccentric opening here, resolving itself into a kind of a A6. Oh, something has gone wrong for black here. Something has definitely gone wrong for black. And let's see. Black's playing very aggressively to rid himself of the light squared bishops. This move A6 is for, again, you know, and we saw that in this other game that I was commenting on.
Yeah.
These unnecessary moves here. You have to think about these moves. Pawn to H6, A6, A3, H3. These, they're like paranoid, kind of like weakening responses. There's no reason that I can see to play a move like that, or to play that move in this position, right? I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't play a move like that, but there's other more useful moves. For example, how about just castling?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't black castle? Why play this move, which actually is a kind of a weakening move? White plays a constructive move. And now I sort of, again, this is being tactically unaware, is what this move is, Queen D7. Black is playing a kind of a strategic game that he understands, but white is more on top of the tactical possibilities. Strategically, this all makes sense. Maybe black wants to play knight b5 or something like that, but perhaps black should play c4, which would be consistent, and then play b5, pawn c4, and then pawn b5 and pawn b4, and try to be consistent about this a6 move, right? But what happens after queen d7 is suddenly white switches gears and plays this move, and this is now decisive, almost decisive penetration with the knight to d6 or takes on c5. Black just overlooked that. I mean, there's no excuse for that, right? So black can't play pawn takes knight because of queen takes queen check. So now you can't lose that pawn on c5. Although, you know, maybe castles is a good move here, and then just give up the pawn, because do you really want to defend the pawn and then suddenly find yourself unable to castle? You know, and then just trying to sort of hold on for dear something.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's so say on. All right. All right. Well, we'll be seeing more of these,
Yeah,
sir.
we definitely will be, yes.
Right. Were you born in Scotland?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
California Street, San Francisco.
Wow. California Street. What Pacific?
Oh my, he didn't before, wasn't it?
California Pacific.
Yeah, that's right.
My children were born there.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's pay you up, Andrew. Yeah. Well, thank you.
All right. Yeah.
It was a pleasure.
We'll see you again.
Thank you.
All right. We're taking a quick break, folks, and we'll be back in 5-10 minutes, something like that. Hi, folks. I'm back. It's Paul Whitehead, and this is the Tuesday Night Marathon, round 1 of the Summer Tuesday Night Marathon, and we are in full swing here. And I'm trying to figure out who is going to. Let's see. I'm going to make my predictions. Who's going to win the tournament? And right now, and I'm gonna say I have a sentimental favorite. I want Natalia Sodakova to win the tournament because she's never won this tournament yet. And so, and my second choice, sentimental choice, would be. I don't know. It's tough. It's probably a toss-up between Brian Doyle, who's come to play here tonight, which is a really great thing, and Elliot Winslow, who is my hero for winning the senior Cal Chess Senior Championship, and drawing Sevillano and winning his other 4 games and winning, I think, or was it 5 games and winning it clear first. So, but it's a 2-month tournament, the Tuesday Night Marathon, and we're just getting started. So let's see. Speaking of Brian Doyle, this is Brian's game tonight. He is white against Clarence Lehman, who seems to be getting kind of pushed around here. Very passive position for white. Let's see how that happened. And we have a Roy Lopez and a Marshall attack, and white plays d3, which is definitely not going to lead to much here. Thank you, Rayburn Series. We are trying to have some fun. Black plays, this is just, white's already practically lost here, and this is not making it any easier by opening up the king side. Only black is going to be able to profit from this. Exchange of dark squared bishops helps black. Now there is a target at a4, and black's just playing simply and developing pieces. Okay. Something will give here. Let's move on. We have a couple of experts here on our 9th board, and we're going Tanya He versus Felix Rudiak. And the grandmasters are at it. Now, very, very not very pressing play from white here, and we have a kind of a and white is just making positional mistake after positional mistake. But a funny game. Well, c5 and knight a5 is coming. So this is, I think black has kind of maybe not played this as well as he could have to.
So what the rule that we are looking for
And
is
maybe bishop b6 is not the right move here. Maybe bishop to c5.
equipment isn't allowed. So
And if knight b3, I'm not sure.
yes, whether I was
A little bit
right-
awkward for black
I'm actually
for some
I'm a
reason.
little bit unsure. That's why I told her that I'm
White's gonna
100% sure.
choke out this bishop on b6 by playing c5, and then who knows what's gonna happen. It looks like black for choice, but you never know. Okay, last board, board 10, and this game already over? 'Cause it has knight e2 and white 1-0, but I don't think so. It looks to me like black is doing fine here. And let's see. Let's go up here. This is two experts. And we have a Carol Khan, advanced variation, and very topical line now for many years. Is that a way to say something?
Black.
That's topical for many years? I don't know.
We're at 39. Standard cross.
That's USCF.
Yeah.
Behind me are the
What is this?
two of the three tournament directors we have here tonight. Judith Stare and Stare and Abel Talamentes. They're consulting
Yes.
over something important.
I actually can discuss this because it's an interesting TD case, and
Okay.
I will.
Okay, great. All right, Judith Stare and Abel Talamentes.
Yes.
I'm good at mispronouncing people's names.
I don't care.
First of all, can I see these earrings?
Yes.
These are incredible.
They're quite popular, actually.
I've never
Thank you.
seen them.
I usually wear the knight because my favorite piece is knight,
Uh-huh.
but the knights are falling apart. So
Okay.
She gets compliments all the time.
I like them. I like them. Yeah.
okay, here it is.
So do you have a TD problem
Yeah.
today?
So there was a lady who has had apparently a little bit of hand shaking problem. Her hands were shaking, so she wanted to use her equipment, which she was black, so she has a choice of equipment if it's standard tournament size equipment.
Okay.
She had triple weight, which is fine, but the pieces were a little bit larger. In fact, so large that the king actually filled up the whole diameter of the square.
Wow, that's a big chess piece. You could
It's
really
a-
hurt somebody with a chess
Yeah,
piece like
so
that.
the opponent didn't want to use that, and I was called there, and I ruled that I think it's still okay, but I actually wanted to get a second opinion, and Abel got there, but the whole situation went a little bit different. But I still want to look it up whether I was right or wrong. So here's the rule. A 40B chess piece size. The king height should be 3 3/8 to 4.5 inches. The cross should occupy no more than 20% of the total height of the king.
It's-
The diameter of the king's base should be 40-50% of the height. The other pieces should be proportional in height.
So we used our calculus to figure out the.
Right.
But the thing about this situation is that we weren't even able to engage in kind of a conversation about
Yeah.
it. But it's interesting that even the use of the equipment has rules that.
Proportions, 41C. Pieces should fit comfortably on the board, being neither too crowded nor too isolated on the squares. The king and queen, for example, should be subject to easy placement on a square without touching any edge.
And-
So I
and-
think that's, based on that, the white had an objective objection.
Right.
The bottom of the piece literally filled the entire square
Yes.
on the board, and the board was a tournament standard board. So yeah,
I think common sense comes into play
And
here
there's
a
you go.
lot.
The king
I mean,
should occupy around 78% of the square.
78.
Dividing the base diameter of the king by 78 will yield the proper square. I mean, but that
I would love to ask the U.S. Chess Federation why 78%. That would be fascinating for me, but
I like I said, I think common sense comes into play here, and I've played in lots of chess tournaments, and people mostly will agree. I've not seen anybody really try to bring something outrageous to the table, like Star Trek
it was
pieces.
very it was
a large part of this actually didn't even have to do with chess.
yeah, well, that
So-
part I don't think we should talk about that part,
Yeah,
but
and I
yeah,
wasn't.
the chess situation itself, it was really borderline. I could see that with an opponent who is a little bit more lenient and open and accepting, it would have been okay, but it would have been too crowded. So I think the correct ruling should have been to deny those sets. And she could have asked for a triple weighted set with a little bit heavier so that she's not knocking over the piece. The
But
other
we
thing,
wouldn't have
but
that.
I don't know if we have that or not. The other thing is that
We have some wooden sets that
okay.
might have
Yeah,
done.
and we actually have a player that uses his own set, and it's larger, than the rest. But I believe that player also has a board where the squares are.
and there's been
larger.
no objection.
Never
right?
had an
So
objection. And actually, I think this player wouldn't have an issue if another player objected actually to it.
right.
Yeah.
It's a matter of being reasonable. I mean, when you bring in your red and green chess set to play in a chess tournament, you're just, I'm not making fun of it, but I think that it's discretion of the tournament
Yeah.
director as well. And
And also, if a player knows that he or she a little bit needs special circumstances or special accommodation, it would be really nice to know that ahead. Even half an hour makes a lot of difference, and we can always accommodate any circumstances. Basically, find a solution that's fair to all the players, as well as being open and accepting to all the players.
Absolutely.
So inclusive. So
we have people.
right? No
Absolutely.
agenda. You
No,
saw
no,
it.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head where you say, like, if we had known that it was going to be a
Yes.
situation where they would have liked something because of a special circumstance they had. We've always been accommodating or try to make it work, and it's just knowing that ahead of time.
Yeah, even I
Just
think
makes a
the
difference.
inside board's a little bit bigger than the roll-up boards, right?
Yeah, it could be actually.
Yeah,
the
so
yeah.
If we would have known just a little bit ahead, or just the information, when she registered, she should have told me that she is in need of a special set. That's so. I don't know. Anyway.
And it also just goes to show, like, the players do have certain rights. So it's the same thing when a player wants to use something that you might find objectionable, let the tournament director know, because just as we
Yeah.
want to be accommodating to those that want to use something a little different, special for whatever the reason. At the same time, there has to be kind of a two-way conversation if it's something that might be a challenge for the other player to accept. So
What I'm hearing is no reasonable request is turned down here,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
we're a club that's open to the public to join. So it's not like we can make arbitrary decisions based on just how we feel. We're going to take the public is the club, and the club is the public.
yeah,
And
and this is a USCF rated. There's certain rules that we're bound by too with regards to that. But we make every effort.
chess is a game played between two players. Then both players have to be happy with the equipment being used, and if there's a dispute, then the tournament director is going to make an informed decision.
Well, you know what I'm really excited about?
What?
we have a rather large TNM going on right now.
How many players so far?
Gosh, I have to look. I mean, I think the last TNM.
What's the total number there?
I think she's still entering all the
She's still in.
corrections. But I think the last TNM when we started round one, we actually had like under 100.
Mhm.
Then by the end of it,
Yeah.
we ended up with like 120 something.
And that's kind of normal now.
Yeah, this
Count, we have 110.
we have 110 that join. That's tonight, and this is round one.
Right.
So it's.
So this thing's getting out of control.
And actually, the thing that was exciting to me, I was telling Judith about. I don't know about out of control. I don't want to say that we don't have control here, but
We just demonstrated how much control we have.
Yeah,
so.
no, we're doing,
We're exercising a lot of
this
control.
is doing fine.
But one thing that's really exciting is that I'm seeing players out there that I know are regular players that play a lot of events that are playing this event that I hadn't seen play this event
Right.
before. So it's kind of exciting. That kind of tells me word's getting out, that the action's here, be part of it. So it's kind of nice to see some new faces.
There's an incredible buzz here at the club that everybody that you've brought with you.
Well, I
and
think she's bringing a little bit of buzz with her.
it's,
also.
But it's fun to see them because we
And-
had a long weekend tournament, right?
I've had more than one person say, "Hey,
And I see
I
these
saw her- I
like
saw
4
her
days
over
in a row. Oh my god!
at the Best of the West
Yeah.
Championship."
Right,
She
right.
ran.
So you just work every day of the week, every year.
Yeah, when she's at home, she runs like an event at home, like a little career run between the daughters. But yeah,
Okay, I think we better get back to work.
chased her away now.
No.
But yeah, it's exciting to see kind of the buzz and a lot of different players. Cool stuff. Brian Doyle from Berkeley Chess is out there playing.
Yep.
I think he's gonna be
mentioned
really
that.
competitive. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
exciting to see. I saw him when we were in the room. The regulars, Ezra, the co-defending champ, Elliot is out there. And Kyron Griffith is going to start next week. Carla in a couple of weeks. So it's going to be tough.
And we have
competition.
Natalia and Mugi.
yeah.
playing.
We got a strong female representation. And Rui, the little 11-year-old,
Okay.
she's playing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she's actually, I think, right now ranked number 3 in the country.
Can we
for 11-year-olds.
switch and see how she's doing? I think
We're number 6.
she's on board one of the board.
Yeah, Leah, let's take a quick look here.
Playing Michael Askin.
And what color is she?
She's black.
She's black. And we were looking at this earlier and saying that Black
She's
had the
Rui
two
Lopez,
bishops.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black had the 2 bishops, and we left it off to about here. Let's just see. Threatening queen b3, queen e6. Okay. Black is building up on the king side,
Oh. And that's where we're at.
and that's where we're at. So Black's going to play f5 probably here and start something up on it.
Break
Yeah.
down.
Probably wondering whether to play c5 first. I mean, c5 and then f5 if you can quickly get f5
Is
in.
there any chance if the black pawn get to f4 that we might see like a g5?
Yeah. Throw everything down. But Black would want to open up the game here because of the 2 bishops. So as much as possible.
What about bringing the bishop to c8 and kind of going that way?
Yep. Redeploy the bishop. Yep. So black is doing fine here. 2 bishops versus the 2 knights.
Yeah. What's Askin's rating?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
been
high
one of these.
1900s.
Okay.
High 1900s.
And she's an expert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
She's
around
a master.
21,
She's a
22.
master.
It's like 2190,
Yeah.
but she has crossed 2200.
Okay. Yeah. This is a great tournament.
She is
for
the defending chess kid national champion, online champion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And Eric Lee is not playing here.
Yeah, I was a little.
The best 11-year-olds in the country.
Yeah.
Played here last.
Well, we have that. She's number 3 in the country.
She's number 3.
So
Yeah,
11
this is fantastic.
Well, you never know when he will enter because
He could enter.
he was playing during the weekend, right? So I'm really surprised that these kids they come back Tuesday evening
This
after a long weekend.
this tournament is so fantastic. I mean, we
Yeah.
have Krasnov, who's in his 70s, or people who are in their
Yes.
70s playing with little kids, and the little kids are chewing them up for breakfast.
Oh, no kidding. I mean,
We don't want to scare them away, though.
Yeah.
Let's
But
not point it out, but
It's
point
one.
out that how
It's one thing that
amazing it
makes this tournament so unique, and is just that the ages of the players and stuff.
yeah.
Just simply that that
Yeah.
you see all kinds of ages playing in the same tournament.
And this is kind of one of the fun things I think too about having it kind of divided up into sections now, is that now you see kind of the different generations competing with each other of kind of more similar rating than before. So it's like it's a real kind of a test of youth versus experience, of the stamina versus. And perfect. So we're gonna take a quick So I've just been told that the Follow Chess has they're broadcasting all the games. So now we're gonna put that
Nice.
feed into the room.
Let me find you guys some
And
interview.
Judy's gonna find some new blood
Okay.
for interview. But it's really nice to see just the activity that's going on. Speaking of activity, we got some tournament activity coming up this weekend.
Oh yeah. Okay. So let's go. Yeah. Abel, thanks for reminding me.
We have the Arthur Stamer Memorial. It's this weekend. It's a 2-day event actually. It's structured 4 rounds on Saturday. It's the time controls game in 55 with 5-second delay. So kind of Saturday's kind of fast, and then Sunday we have 2 rounds, which is a game in hour 55
Right.
with 5-second delay. So
This is one of our flagship events. We've had. This is probably the 56th Stamer. I think it's
wow,
the 50.
that much. Yeah. It's an interesting time control. I'd never heard of it until I came here. Actually, it's 4 rounds in one day and then 2 the next with different time controls. So we have that. It's kind of like mellow pace, smooth tournament. And then we go full speed weekend of June 21st to the 23rd here at the club with the William Addison Memorial.
And we're going to be live streaming that.
Yeah, I mean it's got a $5,000 guaranteed prize pool.
Who's playing in that? Do you know?
I know Enrico Sevillano said he'd play, but actually,
Grandmaster Sevillano.
I expect Elliot to play. I know a lot of players are going to be playing. I'm going to be recruiting some top players. I think they're going to want to come play just because the prize pool is high. But the other thing that's attractive is that we have each section has its own prize pool. So
Right, just like the Tuesday Night Marathon does. Yeah.
So we'll have a Class A, a Class B, Class C. I think the size of the prize pool, just kind of the activity and buzz that we're getting here, and we're going to have some strong. I expect we're going to have strong players for this event. I think there's going to be a lot of action. Looking to see a full house, a lot of money involved. So, and this is one of the things that I really like is that we have tournaments that we keep it affordable, and smooth. For our players, but we're also offering events that are that can attract some stronger players. We're not sacrificing one for the other. Both types of tournaments can coexist, so it's pretty exciting.
And we're still running the Monday Rapid tournaments. When does that start up again?
Mugi and her opponent is coming whenever they finish their matches.
Okay, that's great.
So June 17th it starts up. Actually, we had originally scheduled it for May 27th, which when I scheduled this 2 months,
Memorial
it was
Day.
Memorial Day. I didn't
Right,
realize that,
yeah.
so that's why it didn't happen. So whatever that Monday is, June, I think it's 17th. So that started, but the registration's online, on site.
Right.
So those are fun. Actually, the last one we had like 16 players, which was our largest one.
Right.
It's a lot of fun to play that rapid.
And we're going to keep. Are we going to keep is the schedule for that tournament going to remain the same, or are we going to modify it?
I think we're going to modify it. Actually, I think we're going to do a once a month.
Okay.
A rapid, with the idea being that when we do have that rapid, we'll have a lot of players.
Yeah.
Play it. And So I think we're going to go. Every rapid that I've done, people have had like an amazing.
Can I just say, Abel, that if you hold the rapid once a month, you'll have double the amount of chess tournaments that are held here at the Mechanics. So once a month is not so bad.
Yeah, not so bad. Yeah.
to hold it, to cut it back to once a month, you know.
And the thing is that from our perspective, right? We're on those Mondays we're working that Monday a little bit later, but then we have the Tuesday we got to come back. So it takes a toll, right? So, but I mean, strategically too, I think doing once a month is just kind of the right way to go. It's the right pace. It's good for everybody.
Okay, and you figured out a way for that to happen with the building closing an hour earlier now.
Yeah, so with I know some players had a question about that. Whenever we have our events, whether it be the Monday Rapids or even this Tuesday night marathon, whatever the building hours are, they have no effect on that, because we make arrangements to have the security later those days, just like we do for Tuesday, just like we've been doing for all our weekend events. So whenever we have an event, it doesn't affect those things happening. So for example, if we have a Monday night rapid, the building closing doesn't have an effect on that. We make arrangements so that we have the right security here, and as we know, having the security is important.
Yep.
So players don't need to worry. So the building closes at 8 now. When we have our chess events, it has no bearing on that part.
Okay, that's good news.
Yeah, and I know a lot of players have actually been asking about that. 'Cause
Right.
They were worried that with the building closing, what's going to happen to the marathon, what's going to happen to the chess events.
Right.
It has zero effect because we make the accommodations beforehand to have the extra staff that we need.
The show must go on.
Yeah, has to. So.
Well, thanks, Abel, and then beyond that, well, we'll be back next Tuesday. Asking the hard questions.
Yeah, next Tuesday. I know Juan's got to do something here on the computer so we can broadcast from the inside, and I'll let him do it.
Okay. Shall we take a quick break?
Take a break.
10-minute break, and I'll be back.
Job right here.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Juan. Okay, I'm here with Senior Tournament Director Reiko Sterry. Can you tell us what you're doing here tonight during the Tuesday night marathon?
I'm doing some of the computer TD. I'm figuring out how to make who play who and adjusting all the pairings and stuff like that.
It seems to me you're doing all the work and they're just goofing off. That's the way it seems to me. But I could be wrong. So, you're a senior TD. I mean, what do you have to do to become a senior TD, tournament director?
So first you need to become a club TD. That's just reading the rule book and sending in an application.
Okay, I've done that.
Yeah,
actually.
and then you have to acquire a certain amount of TD norms. It's kind of the same thing as as an actual chess norm. It's just that it has to be certain size tournaments, certain class tournaments, and something with a certain amount of prize fund in it.
Right.
So, and there's different levels, so you have to collect a certain amount of tournaments to become a local TD and then a senior TD. And I'm working on my NTD credits right now.
Wow. And okay, so your mom is a national TD, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think she's working toward it.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on it, but I think so.
Right. So I want to ask you, in the Tuesday night marathon, the tournament that's going on right now, do you have to play touch move?
Well, of course.
I just thought I'd ask for all you people out there who are thinking of playing in your first chess tournament. You have to play touch move if you're going to play, and a senior tournament director is going to know that and it's going to penalize you, and so on.
And that's the number one claim we get,
Is touch
especially in kids' tournaments.
That's
is that if they
interesting.
don't say it loud enough, they immediately go, "Oh no! My opponent touched the bishop, and now they have to sacrifice it and everything." So,
Right.
yeah, it's the most aggressive claim we get.
Is the
and
touch
it's
move roll? Yeah.
Yes, and people are so adamant about it, but no, you touched it. And it's really hard to tell because when an opponent says, the opponent says, "No, I didn't."
Yeah, what do you
says,
do?
"Yes, I did."
How do you make a decision in cases like that?
First you have to ask witnesses, at the neighboring boards, and 99% of the time
Right.
they don't know what happened.
And then it's whoever cries the loudest?
Of course. No, usually we because interfering and saying that, "Hey, you probably touched it," would cause a greater amount of interference than if we just say, "I have no way of knowing, so I'm gonna go with the one that, doesn't leave someone with a queen
Right.
hanged." So, yeah, we usually say, "Look, we're gonna say you didn't touch it, but next time you need to say it just loud and clear so your opponent can hear you. Because if it doesn't, then next time we're probably gonna say it's a pattern."
You got to know the rules, folks.
Yep.
I mean, and that's a hard one to learn. I remember the touch move rule, especially if you're just learning how to play and you want to move all the pieces, but touch move is important, and these old guys in this chess club, they should know that. Are you going to be TDing more tournaments here at the Mechanics, do you think? Your mom is about to start working here, and is she bringing you on board, to help?
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's so great. I mean, first of all, more tournament directors means that less chance that I'm going to be asked one day to direct a chess tournament, which is like my greatest fear, is like somebody's going to come at me and say, well, what are we supposed to do here? I don't even know if you're supposed to stop the clock or give 5 minutes or take 5 minutes away or what,
Well, you never take time away.
You never take time
You
away.
always give time to the opponent. Yep.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm scared to death of being a tournament director. It seems to me.
Well, it's always nice to have someone who knows it better than you do.
Yeah.
So even when I directed a tournament just this weekend, and almost all of them, even there were like sample cases, but even after I ruled, it came back to an NTD who I know, John McCumsky, and I made sure like this was the situation, this is what I ruled, but I wanted to make sure, and that helps because then you can be a lot more, make sure and the rule ahead of time, and you can do it again next time without asking.
Right. So
now with touch moves, I never really ask anyone because I know the drill by now. It's like when 20 kids ask me, what am I supposed to do? My opponent touched a piece, and the other says they don't. Then you just know, we're going to give you a warning, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Right. Yeah. So how many tournaments have you directed, do you think, so far?
Oh, I don't know. 50, 100? I don't know. I could check probably, but...
Wow. That's
a lot of them
amazing.
are small ones, kids tournaments, like 50 kids, but then there are some big ones too.
We have tournaments, and we're lucky to get 50 players here. So, apart from the Tuesday night marathon, which, we're not lucky to get 50, but our tournaments can average 20, 30,
that's
40.
what we usually get for like kids tournaments when I direct those.
Right.
The Swiss and quads ones I used to do a lot, where there's a small Swiss tournament for kids and then there's a small quads, and that could really range in size. I know I once had like 6 quads that I had to make, which is 6 times 4 kids.
Right.
But then I've also had where it's like barely 2.
Right.
So it really depends on the weekend.
Yeah.
But so some are small and some are big.
And you have a brother and a sister?
2 sisters.
2 sisters, and they both play?
They know the rules, but they're not active tournament players. They mostly just play when they can. But yeah.
Right. And how old are they?
8 and 10.
Wow. So and what does your dad do?
Oh, both my parents are actually chemists by profession.
Chemists.
So both of them have PhDs in chemistry. My dad is applying it. He's a chemistry professor, and he's also the director of the honors program at University of the Pacific.
Wow,
So,
an accomplished family, and you're very accomplished yourself.
So I've never had any problems with chemistry.
Right. Yeah. Chess. And I heard you speaking. What is the language? Hungarian?
Yes.
You're speaking. I heard you speaking Hungarian with your mom.
Yeah.
So I played an offhand game with Judith Polgar. Have you met the Polgar sisters?
Oh yeah, I've met 2 of them. I haven't met Jofi.
But you've met Judith.
Yeah, and Susan. I've met Susan a lot. Like.
Okay.
It's become a natural occurrence every.
I don't know what she's like at all. I've never met her.
Oh, she's really nice.
Great. I heard she's going to come and visit the club soon. I'm looking forward to that.
Hopefully. I'm not sure.
But I played Judith Polgar. I got to play Judith Polgar, and she was very young. She was 11 or 12, like Ruiz age when we played, and it was an offhand game. A friend of mine was showing her around New York, and said, "Paul, come and play Judith." And I knew who she was. I knew she was already a world famous chess player, probably about 2400, 2450 at the time strength, but really shooting up. And I was maybe about the same, but my star was going down, and she beat me pretty handily. The blitz game that we played, chess. So, and I was thinking of Hungarian chess players, particularly Hungarian women involved in chess.
Well, Susan's been a big groundbreaker for that. So and it's always fun to be at a tournament with her and then talk with, rapidly exchange some Hungarian with people looking on. And
So did you were born in the United States?
No, I was born in Hungary.
Oh, you were born in Hungary.
I lived there for a couple years as a kid before moving here.
Okay, so it's I heard you speaking, and it sounded completely like your native tongue.
Yeah, but English isn't, so it's not like I convert English back to Hungarian or anything like that, or the other way around. It's just...
You speak English better than I do, so... Somebody's saying
Hello
hello from San Francisco.
from Quebec.
Oh, from Quebec. Hey, fantastic. People are watching from all over the world. Yeah, we're getting what we're doing here, and I'm really glad that you and your mom have joined up here at the club. We're a chess club, and we're offering a window into the world of chess clubs, and what it would be like to. There's a kind of a virtual chess club here that you can see. Mm-hmm. And old people and young people and people from different cultures, people speaking different languages. To us living in San Francisco, it just seems, or in the Bay Area, it seems like a normal thing, right? People are speaking Hungarian, or people are speaking Chinese, or whatever. But if you're somewhere in America, in the Midwest maybe, and you're watching this and you're saying, wow, this is really an incredible thing. I wish I was at a chess club that was like this. This is like the ideal chess club. And where we have grandmasters giving lectures, and we have people of all ages playing, and masters and classes and all that stuff. So that's what we're trying to do here, is offer this, and it's really exciting. I've been employed by the Mechanics Institute for 7 years. I joined in 1972 when I was 12. And this is the first time I've been involved, now that your mom's here, that there's been a woman that's in the chess room that's as part of the team. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think it opens doors. And one of the things that always needs stronger is women in chess, and welcome. Yeah. And I know how to talk and talk. I'll shut up and you can talk.
But going off of the the chess world, even in we're 1.5 hours away, right? So it's not that far. But even in Stockton, there's almost no chess clubs there. There's some players here and there,
right?
But to get into any real chess tournaments, you have to come to the Bay Area, and otherwise, there's not much. To all the schools I visit, I've usually made a couple of chess clubs here and there, but it's never just as big a chess community as here,
right?
In the Bay Area. So there's just chess is a very natural part of just life here, and it's very known that the world exists.
Right.
Whereas, when you bring up chess tournaments in the high school life, they're just like, wait, so Monopoly tournaments exist as well? So to them, it's just like a board game.
The Monopoly tournament. That's what we should do, is have a Monopoly tournament.
She wants a TD
Are
Monopoly.
you guys entertaining each other? And viewers?
I'm just blowing the horn of the Mechanics Institute Chess Club,
Did Ruin? You Ruin one, yeah. She didn't want to.
She didn't want to talk. She was tired and wanted to go. And she was like, "Who's that strange guy there?" That was me, I think. Yeah, we haven't been formally introduced.
Oh yeah, she's
I'm gonna go finish the pairs.
Yeah, so we should probably.
Missing from the previous tournament. You want to submit that? That's actually helping you.
Okay. I'm gonna go finish it.
So the tournament directors have walked into the room, and they're dragging Reiko away. Thank you. Thank you. We'll be talking to you again. I know. I'm gonna need people here.
Yep.
So, you want us to find you people?
Yeah. Okay. Let me find you.
Or you can.
You should bring a chess match.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at some of the games that we're talking about here. Let's take a look at board 1, where Ezra Chambers is. We were way back here a long time ago. I want to look at this game. We're going to look at this game quickly. Walter is He doesn't want to get mated. He has to sacrifice the exchange. And it's getting... Walder is in big trouble. Okay. Winslow. We were at this position not too long ago, and let's see what's happened. Check. King must move. And Elliot looks like he's under some pressure here. White has that far advanced pawn on d6. Could be very troublesome for black. Black is redeploying the knight. Maybe it wants to go into d3. White looks like he's better. Much better, I would say. And Elliot is in trouble, but we'll find out. Here's the we left the game at this position, but black looked like he was doing fine. More centralization. The queens are coming off. White's pushing a little bit on the queen side. White has the two bishops and a certain advantage. Looks like White's going to be up a pawn. That pawn at h3 is looking bad. This is starting to look a little promising for White, I would say, with the two bishops, and White probably going to go up a pawn in a few minutes with king h2, or the h3 pawn is probably lost. Yep. Okay, let's go on. And Kevin Kuchek versus Russell Wong. We saw this game where White was really just not doing anything at all to have any kind of initiative at all. Black is sort of and now the it looks like a pawn at d3 is in trouble. It looks like White could have just played black could have just played pawn takes pawn there, and won the pawn at d3. Maybe it's not running away. And it's not running away. White's just been playing a reactive kind of game. I would... Black is close to... Black has got a very good chance to win this game, the way it's been going on. Very kind of sloppy play from White there. This game was a win. Askin playing the country's third strongest. And this is the correct board, board 5. Got it. Okay. A little bit of a risky opening for Black, especially after the Alpha Zero games, but Black is a pawn ahead and is playing accurately here and sort of slowly driving White back. And now there's a mate threat and the queen's, and this is just hopeless. Rook a2 and etc., etc. Rook takes a2. White's got a check and a check, but king goes back to f8, and then it's just, you know, White can do a few things to make it a little difficult, but eventually black will be winning this game. So, okay. Sotokova. This was the game that we thought was being played by Rui, but actually it's being played by Sotokova versus Mazer. And black's trying to open the game up for the two bishops. This is still very unclear. Let's go on. I'm not sure if my analysis is boring everybody or not. It's kind of perfunctory. Yeah.
Ezra Chambers and Mr. Walder.
Okay, guys. Who won?
I won.
Yeah, I saw that game. You both want to sit down and provide some.
Go ahead, have a seat.
Okay.
All right, this was board one.
Glowing,
Yeah,
that is
the-
changing colors.
That's quite a milestone.
With me, I have FIDE Master Ezra Chambers and National Master Michael Walder, who were playing on board one. And this game did not look like a good game for you,
No.
Michael.
No,
It
wasn't.
really did not.
Yeah, G6 is a mistake.
Well,
That's one of the traps.
Well, knight d4
Yeah,
is,
knight d4.
is normal. I thought
But it's tricky
Okay.
still. There's a lot
Wait
of
a
tricks.
minute. G6 is a mistake.
Because of takes an F4, that's why.
Okay.
It's like a great Rossolimo.
Okay, that's interesting.
Oh, sorry.
because I could never get e5 in.
Okay. All right.
Exactly.
So I'm with Ezra Chambers, sitting far. Scoot in a little bit so we can see your. Yeah. Okay. So I'm here on the. Yeah. Michael, just move in.
wow.
There you go.
Shining.
Right in the middle.
Okay. So G6 is a mistake. I can see that how that might be true.
I don't think it's losing, but it's not
Right.
pleasant.
Okay.
I was originally planning to play bishop g7 and e5, but it just didn't seem
I
to.
don't think you're in time, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be time for it.
So this is just kind of a known to be good for white sort of thing.
This is just a tricky opening.
It's a tricky opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that great, but it's tricky. Like, I mean, it's objectively not best, but it's tricky.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, yeah, this is like a Grand Prix, but black doesn't have that much counterplay.
All right, that might have been the first nail in your own coffin, I think, because 95 is such a nice move,
Yeah.
and then you're just like, what do I do after that? You know?
Yeah, I missed the point.
Thing is, my knight is, I think, needed on g5 for, sorry, I should keep down, for the attack.
This is a difficult position, I guess, for black to play. I mean,
I was
you
thinking he was
got-
going to play bishop a6 and c4 or something.
maybe, yeah, that's an idea.
But
It is tough. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tough. It's there's something about it that's like just a little awkward for black.
It's hard to get counterplay.
Uh huh.
And then even if he gets c4 sometimes, I can just push d4.
Right. Right.
And then, like, is he going to go b5?
It's hard to get
ugly,
counterplay.
kinda.
It's hard to get counterplay. And
Yeah.
Bishop G4, though Michael is really
It's actually it's been played a number of times.
Is that right?
Yeah, but
Yeah, g6 is like one of the most natural moves, which is like why. I think you're controlling that screen, or
I'm trying to get back over here.
still too loud.
I can't get.
All the chest feed is fine, but it keeps like moving.
I can't get my.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Okay. All right. So Bishop G4, 95.
95.
Yeah.
And what's black supposed to do here? I mean, it's just.
I was expecting queen c7 because queen c8 looks more passive. And here I think maybe f5 is better than queen h4. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think no.
I mean, the problem is black doesn't really have a plan here.
Yeah.
except
Actually,
for
queen
survival.
c7, bishop d7 is it's a little less than a half a pawn for white.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's
Yeah.
hard to come up with a plan for
No,
black.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's like, you know, it's not like crushing. It's not like, you know, just winning.
Well, it
but
could be crushing.
yeah, it's hard to, like.
Yeah, but queen c8 is.
And then he was
definitely- is a
asking
lot
for
better.
f5. I thought bishop e6 was kind of asking for f5. So, the only time I spent was trying to stop my hand from just going f5.
I mean, this is
Like a
just.
blitz game.
This looks so bad. I mean, if it's not completely lost, it's very close to it.
Yeah, it
Well-
doesn't look good.
what could survive here?
But even like I thought, like even if I don't have bishop h6, I could have gone e takes f5 and knight c6.
Actually, what's funny is
if I wanted to instead of bishop h6.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Minimum. So
I should probably instead play fe4 here. It's
Where?
incredible.
Queen g5.
oh no way, fe4 there.
I guess queen g5, knight e8.
Wow. I didn't even consider like that. But I even have ideas like bishop takes g7, queen g5 check,
Yeah,
and rook takes f6 sometimes.
Yeah, 98 is actually advantageous for black, according to the stockfish.
I think this is probably.
0-0-0.
Yeah.
No, minus.
Oh,
I think you'll have to look at it. I
What
think
is it before queen g5?
Before queen.
you guys,
Yeah.
you might be looking at some computer thing, but
Yeah.
this is
No, I
so
understand.
easy to play for white.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is a pretty good move.
That's a simple move.
Just go on knight g5 next.
Yeah, I missed.
And just, even rook takes f5, I think, is winning. But he takes f5. It's forcing material losses from black.
Yeah, I thought about knight g4. I thought about
Where?
in this
Oh,
position.
after bishop
No,
h6.
queen h7, mate.
No. Before that, on bishop takes a6. Queen takes f6 right there. Knight g4.
Yeah.
But
then,
he could just take and play queen g5 and queen e7
yeah,
with a
minimum.
crushing
Yeah.
positional
Dark squirrel
advantage.
domination, yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's,
It's hard.
it's just
there's a lot of like nice variations for white.
It looks like one of those positions
Yeah,
where there's
yeah.
a lot of nice Yeah, and this was just basically, there's nothing here. G3's a little
Yeah,
loose.
yeah. It's kind of asking for it.
I mean, just play knight g5 or rook e2 maybe. G3 is
Yeah.
a little loose, but
Yeah.
but this is.
But it works because
Yeah.
queen b8, rook e3, and then knight g3, queen f6.
Yeah,
So-
rook e3. Yeah,
And
it's
here-
over. I could
Yeah.
resign anytime here. I just was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do.
Yeah, well, you'll have to take a close look at that opening. I mean, that
Yes.
was you made some obvious moves, but they weren't so
It's a
great
tricky
in the long
opening,
run. It
so-
was like,
Yeah.
it's not a nice position to be in.
I didn't want to play Open Sicilian because I was scared of some of his like famous novelties.
You chose the right opening.
Yeah.
You know, he was unprepared for it.
I played against Fidel
You
Corrales
did it
once.
in the right move order because I've been if you play f4 first before bishop b5 I actually
Yeah.
have a great score with the
Don't- I
black
don't
side
know.
against the knight with the knight d4 stuff here.
Interesting.
Grand
I
Prix.
got there's 3 different lines that I've been looking at. So knight d4.
Yeah. So this is the idea of this is to play f4. So what happens after knight d4?
So most people play bishop c4, I think, or most people I've seen play bishop c4. But in my opinion, better move is knight g2,
Okay.
trying to just get some development advantage, and then play d4,
Okay.
something like.
I mean,
knight-
because after bishop c4, hasn't white lost a tempo?
Yeah, exactly. He
I
moves
mean,
a piece twice,
really?
and then black just
Yeah.
goes e6, and the bishop is.
So if knight
displaced.
I'm sorry. So knight d4, knight e2, e6, or a6.
Okay, a6, I think. Okay, well, there's 2 plans. One is to go bishop d3, which is kind of ugly. But one idea is knight d4 and then knight e2, and another idea is to play b3 and bishop b2.
But if you play,
There's a lot of like.
if you
Yeah,
play,
yeah. I mean, this is people are if you take a look at
It's not a standard.
if you
opening,
take
it's
a
not-
look at like at the Shaw game, look at the opening of this game.
Yeah.
Did you see this?
No, I didn't see the
I
opening,
mean,
but
it could be
weird position they got.
it could be
well, yeah.
it's like a what do they call it
Everyone's
a
going crazy against Petrov.
this is like a what's the Fisher random position.
well, actually, Fisher actually recommended playing that.
Knight c4 thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think he did once.
I never heard that one.
I think he did
Well,
once.
He said it just to break the monotony.
This was going well
But
for
I like
white.
the knight c3 line against the Petrov. e6, knight f3, knight takes c4, knight c3.
This is
Yeah,
black is
that's-
totally misplaying this,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah.
had a rough
Just
game
lost.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so folks, we're looking at Shaw versus Clemens. Black was in a difficult position, but he's made it worse for himself with his night excursion out to A4. Didn't seem to do him any good. I think he was in a difficult position in here anyway.
Yeah. I'd probably lost already.
Yeah,
Well, that bishop there.
close to
Bishop
lost.
pair and the pawn on h3 is not going to be defended in the long run, or even the short run.
I mean, unless you could play G5, something radical like G5 and G4. But
Yeah,
G5,
you might end up losing more pawns though.
Yeah,
F3
it's
after
true.
G4.
It's true.
If you go F5.
Also, if
takes
you go
G6.
yeah.
That's the thing about bishop
Okay.
pair.
What other? This game.
That was a weird. Like I didn't see the opening, but I saw the opening after.
Well, we saw the most very uninspired opening by White. I mean, let's go through it quickly.
Oh,
Quick
yeah,
check
okay.
versus Wong. This was just, A3 bad move. H3 probably even worse. Bishop D2 just nothing.
Yeah, kind of playing in fear.
Right, but then Black maybe should have played into the center rather than
Bishop
C5. Yeah, sort of gave up the two bishop. Well, okay, so
Still, I like Black. But
Black just missed pawn takes pawn. Oh no, bishop H6. Okay, so even so,
Bishop G6 maybe.
yeah,
King H7.
but
It's okay.
allowed White this weird tactic to defend the D3 pawn
Oh, wow.
and
That looks.
lost the A3 pawn, and then this happened. It looked like Black's just kind of heading
Yeah.
to some kind of positional win here.
Yeah.
I think he's
Yeah.
still playing.
I think this
yes,
is-
he's still playing.
Lost.
You want to talk to Ezra?
Was-
Yes, Ezra is finished.
Yeah,
Oh,
Queen
yeah.
F7,
Oh,
Queen
okay.
G4 check. So,
Hello?
Yeah,
yeah. So now two pawns down, with a very slight hope of bishops of opposite color mess. Queen C3, I guess. Rook C1. This is looking very bad for White. I mean, just looks lost.
yeah. Rook check.
Yeah, Queen C3 looks fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Sodakova versus Mazer. This game might be something wrong with it. It's not transmitting. It's okay. That's okay. Ivanov versus Melville. Okay, we were at this situation. And remember that Black lost the right to castle, trying to hold on to his pawn.
Okay. Just because it's my last two.
What is going on here? Okay, Black can't take twice
Yeah.
because of Queen D5, and threatening Queen D8 mate, and the Rook at B6.
No.
Rook at A.
Yes, he can. He's got knight to D6. To B6.
Oh, Queen C5 check and Queen B6. I mean, that'd be over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, he's got something.
Oh yeah.
Wow, Ivanov doesn't even play knight takes D5, which looks like it would be a winning move. I guess unless Rook D8 actually works. Maybe Rook D8 works. Okay, F5.
Yeah.
That looks pretty strong, folks. E6 is a threat.
E6 is a threat.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a weird game that Elliot was playing with Black.
Oh yeah, let's look at Elliot's
Did you
game.
see that? It was like a 4 pawns attack.
No, come scoot over so we can see who you are. Yeah. Elliot had a bad game, I thought.
Yeah.
Actually, a very bad game.
For a while, I thought he
let's
was gonna
see.
get crushed. I mean, I think I would have gotten crushed.
Okay, so
Black's
Queen
side.
B6. This is theory, right?
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, I think it is, but I don't know. I don't know what's.
Do you have to defend B2 or like is short?
I'm not
I
sure
don't
that
know.
knight A6 was the right move. It could have been that E takes D5 was the right move. Here, I remember just looking at this with Nick.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, and I
Great
think he
irritation.
takes d5 is the right move here.
And then knight takes looks pretty
Queen
scary.
b2,
Whoa. And then
maybe.
is c7 like takes and rook b1 or something?
I'm not sure, but look at this is
Well, you can't
here
go
too.
C7 because of
Right.
bishop C3.
Wait, what?
If you're saying,
Well, no, he's got what's
So
it?
takes d5 and knight
Knight
takes d5.
d5. Well, hold on now.
Right.
In that position, because there's a lot going on.
yeah, queen
You
takes
know.
B2.
And then
Queen b2, bishop
Queen B2
b2,
and
rook
rook
b1. Then what?
that looks pretty. Like if you don't know it, you don't
Yeah,
go in for it.
there's got there. Yeah, I agree. So I'm not really sure what the theory is here, and maybe we'll look it up tonight.
d6. I don't like.
This could
It
be
looks
all.
crushing, but maybe you can also keep the tension. out.
This actually seemed to go well for white, and
And then I thought bishop e3 maybe instead of king h1. Like, because here he went bishop e3 anyway. Why do you go king h1 then?
that's a good point. I'm not sure, but doesn't this look like a nice position for white
It
anyway?
still looks very nice, yeah. In fact, if white was like not a pawn down, it would be considered winning. So it's probably pretty close to like winning. I don't know. I've
Yeah, I
seen
don't
positions in
know.
the Grunfeld where white gets a pawn on like d6, and just like it's like that's what Kasparov I think said. Like he thought Grunfeld was a bad opening because white would just get a past d pawn and then win.
Well, here it looks like knight e4. I mean, go straight into I don't know.
Even bishop f6 looks pretty like
Yeah.
scary.
Very, very tough position for black.
Queen f7.
I
So I like
yeah.
they're just coming.
Yeah,
all the way.
Elliot.
These are
I'm
coming.
not sure, Elliot Winslow. They call you the alley cat with your 9 lives. But all right, so let's take a look at this. Let's see what happened here. Bishop e5, knight f5. I'm keep going back to the.
Got Brian Doyle finished.
Okay.
April, I'm at the last section. What am I supposed to do with the game?
Well, white's just up a pawn. Who knows?
Well,
Maybe its material is being reduced, and is he trying to trap the knight?
I think white. Well, not only that, but like d4 and c5.
Yeah. Better for white, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe black will be able to hold. Is Brian going
I
to
would
come
only
on
be-
in here?
Yes.
I would only be worried about not winning if Conrado was black.
Okay.
The magician. Looks like some sort of.
This round?
Extra. Extra rating.
Not.
Not in the round.
And I'm supposed to add him into the
Yeah,
other
I told him.
Brian Doyle had a weird game.
Yeah, that was a crush, though. It seems to me.
okay.
I mean, wasn't it?
A weird opening from like weird position from the opening. He played g5 or something.
This is white getting absolutely.
Yeah.
We're setting you up.
Oh, yep, there they are. They're looking at your game.
Yeah. Come on, guys, read it.
They were deconstructing your game, and now you guys get to everything.
Yeah, Clarence, this was not your finest hour. Yeah, right.
Never your finest hour,
So
right?
I'm here with Clarence Lehman and Brian Doyle, who just finished their first game. Want to show us the game, Brian?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
For this thing.
So this is mainline Reload House, and he went for this Hu Yiffen line with Queen E2. He can do it now, or you can do it later.
Yeah, I guess
But
normally
I think this is like Hu Yiffen's favorite setup.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
He's defending E4, so I thought B5 now was okay and not too early.
Sure.
I wasn't positive. And then I like to put the bishop on E7.
Okay.
He surprised me with the move order. I expected castles in C3, but he immediately went to C3. So it gave me a little something to think about. I went ahead and castled, and I thought he could play D4, which I thought was interesting.
Probably, sure.
Yeah.
You could, maybe it would be some kind of open-looking Roy with takes, and D5 and knight
Right.
e4, or
With his king in the middle, I might be okay, but I thought D4 now is really interesting because he switched up the move order. Maybe he can do it.
maybe you could play D5 if
And
he
he
plays
does.
G4.
Right.
No,
I
but
thought-
I mean
could probably play
D4,
that,
D5.
yeah.
I was calculating
then.
that. But he castled, which brings us back to the main line,
Okay.
and now D5. And the point of D5 is if he goes E takes D5, knight takes D5, knight takes E5, I immediately have knight F4.
Okay.
Yep.
So I don't know if we can show that line.
I don't think you can,
Oh yeah,
but that's okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
we're like low tech, you know.
Yeah, for
It's actually-
tempoing the queen, and it's not so good for white.
We're low tech.
Yeah.
You want to scoot in, Brian?
good. So
Yeah,
it's a
okay.
little too dangerous for him to go for the pawn, I think. So he played what I thought was the best move, D3.
I mean, this is book.
Yeah, this is all.
Okay.
This is correct. And I didn't know what to do, so D4 I think is okay. I remember looking at this with a computer like 2 years ago, and it seems like it's an okay move. But after H3, I thought I was just worse.
I didn't think so. I thought these kind of positions always struck me as being uncomfortable for white to play.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on.
It's a long time before white gets any kind of kingside activity.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
thought these were uncomfortable positions for white with that wedge on D4, and
Yeah.
you know. So I mean, I might be wrong.
I
You
don't
might be
know.
right.
It's,
I
it's
mean,
complicated.
so what should white play here? Bishop G5 and take on F6.
Well, it's black's move.
Oh,
Yeah. So
But if I
A5,
had
I
another
don't know if that's right or not. Because he played really nicely, like A4, which has to be right, and B4, and I actually calculated here that I might not be doing as well as I think.
well, what should white play? Bishop
C
back to
takes
C4.
D4 freaks me out.
she takes D4?
Yeah, that freaked me out. So
I
it's
actually thought it was
unnatural
okay for-
because it gives white a backward pawn on the open line.
Right.
But if you just calculate lines, C takes D4, knight takes D4, knight takes D4, queen takes D4, then bishop E3, my queen has to back up, and he's getting F4 right away. And all of a sudden, yeah, he's got a backward pawn on open line, but
That would be good for
with
white.
F4, I'm starting to like white.
Yeah, no, that would be fun.
So I got a little lucky because I think he thought he didn't want a backward pawn on an open 5.
Well, your next move deserves serious censure.
Yeah,
You
so
should. This
C4
was
shocked
Okay,
me a little
okay.
bit.
There's a reason that I did it because it blocked all of his queenside counterplay out for a long, long, long time.
well.
Yeah.
The thing though is it turns your bishop into a pawn.
That's okay.
Right.
I mean, it's not okay.
It's
but
okay if you do
It's-
it against me
it's okay.
as well.
No, yeah. No, okay, but Paul, so it's okay here because I believe if he's getting in trouble going D7 to knight C5 to B3, I'm letting him take it. So he's not going to just come and take it because it's a bad bishop
Yeah,
for a good
but
knight.
where's your play? I mean,
The ultimate plan is to play knight D2, rook
So
E1, knight F1, knight G3, given time.
Right.
I thought white should play for F4.
Yes, that's the goal.
But I thought he thought maybe he was getting it before me, but I think I get it first.
Yeah,
because-
no, black is better mobilized
Yeah.
here and has more room for play. I
Like,
think.
knight
Okay,
to
we both
D7.
have 3 pieces developed. He's made more pawn moves. It
Yeah.
looks kind of weird. So
But also, you have squares. If you play C takes D4, E takes D4, for example, you've got that C4 square.
For a knight.
You've put your pawn on a square that you want. That's actually a good square
that
for
is
your
true.
pieces.
That is true. But I did not like C takes B4, knight comes in, and I didn't like C takes D4 because I didn't think he'd had to trade down like that. I actually thought that he'd be able to C takes D4.
I
He
should
might
take
be
with a
able to.
pawn,
Might,
maybe.
yeah, he would play
I should take
there
with
with
a
a pawn,
Maybe.
and then he has he can play bishop D6, and he can get some attacking stuff over here before I ever get a chance to play it.
True. I would
So I
take with a
opted
pawn.
to shut him down over there, and hopefully I could beat him to the races on this side. That's where. that was.
Well, okay. So C takes D4, E takes D4.
Right.
Now you're saying Bishop D6,
Well,
but
not
it looks to me
immediately.
like you're going to get an F4.
Not in me. Okay, so C takes D4, E takes D4. What do I do? White plays.
Develop
D4.
maybe knight D2 or Bishop G5 and knight D2 or
Even bishop
something.
F4 is on the
Yeah, or
okay,
Bishop
Bishop
F4. Yeah,
Bishop
there you go,
F4.
Bishop F4.
But then he could play BD6, and I can't play. Maybe I could play. No, I can't really play E5 because he has rook E8. There's all kinds
That's
of.
true, but you're getting your pieces out.
That's
I'm just
true.
saying, let's
No,
develop your
I
pieces.
want to develop my pieces,
Yeah.
but I was concerned that exchanging on D4 left me with more problems than it did
Well, we
pluses at the moment. But-
we disapprove of
C4 did surprise me.
the Mechanics Institute.
I disapprove of it too.
So I didn't think
Now.
much here. I just thought a knight on C5 looks pretty good. So that's what I played for. and I did put my knight on c5, and then g4 surprised me.
That's
as well.
another move
Yeah.
that I think is
I know
Well,
he was freaking
F5's
out.
coming.
Yeah, F5's coming.
And I don't
know
have
he's
any other
freaking
way to
out
stop
about
it. My knight's kind of
Yeah.
hammered down. Rook E1's too slow.
well. You might want it. It's
F5
true.
is annoying.
I could play BD1. Originally, when I played C4, my intention was to be able to play Bishop D1, B3, and then get my bishop in the game that way and not have a problem.
Yeah,
And
but
be
your
shut
bishop
down.
is a long way from getting.
But I could go to D-round right now.
Yeah.
That was the goal. I was originally going to play D1, and then I started getting concerned that F5, I don't really have a good answer for that,
Yeah.
other than, getting my bishop out of the way.
But
first.
G4 just delays
So maybe-
it. Delays it.
So maybe I should play bishop D1, and then if you do play F5, I play EF and then knight E4 or something.
Or bishop C2.
Yeah.
You want to put the bishop
Well,
on D1.
C2's
but-
got a problem too because if knight removes, he gets tempted with D3. And then
F5 is going to be my next move.
Yeah.
Almost all
Oh
moves.
yeah. So
It's just
stop.
not that good of a position.
Well, understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
G4.
So he did stop F5. So I went H5 and whoops,
All right, it's okay.
So I'm gonna
you
H5.
can actually go.
I can go up. There we go. Wait.
Here.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, H5.
Okay.
So yeah, H5 because if he takes,
So you could have also played G6 and F5,
Right.
maybe.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, I
that's
didn't
true.
consider it like I should have.
That's
This
what I
looked-
expected.
this
he would
looked
play.
pretty good.
This looks pretty good too.
And
Any opening of the king side is going to be.
I did this on a
Favorable for who gets the
calculation, but I
master
missed a
fast.
move. So I played this because I calculated knight H2,
Yeah, that's
H
right.
takes G4, H takes G4, bishop to G5, threatening to win a piece. Bishop moves somewhere. Bishop to F4, but I missed that he had knight F3 at the end of the line.
Right.
Maybe you should play knight E1 here, and I don't know.
Yeah. So I did this on a pure calculation, but at the end of the line, I kind of missed that he has knight F3 at the end of the line.
Right. Well, luckily you still have a grip on the position.
Yeah. I mean, I did see this. I was actually planning queen F6 here, but G5 is annoying. So I didn't want to take his knight, so I took for the dark squares.
Okay. And
And
that
then-
favored you too.
Yeah. So B3 and now knight to B4 is annoying in certain lines.
This is just horrible, I think, for white.
He wanted to defend A4. Now queen F6.
Well, one of the reasons I wanted to stay over here and do this truly was to lure your men over there, which I did. There's a little Capablanca Marshall game where Capablanca went and snagged
Right.
the pawn and almost didn't get back to live.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So knight E1 actually kind of made sense, even though, I don't know, because knight to B4, there's no way to defend the pawn. If, for example, it
Okay.
goes knight to D2,
Yeah.
maybe I play knight to B4. I'm happy to trade pawns because that D3 pawn's going to be nice. So this kind of made sense, but it's very passive. And this is just simple developing, threatening A4, and it just seemed easy.
I consider one of the things I'd consider was
Why
to
did
play
you
Rook
say
A3. There's a Rook A3 opportunity here to sort of, if you play Knight C5, I bishop takes pawn or Rook A3.
Knight to G2, I had a mini
All
panic
these
attack.
exchanges over, yeah.
And then my Rook winds up down at B7 or something.
Well, knight B4, right? Oh, because he's going to play F4, but you can play G5, which is
Yeah,
what you
he did.
did.
Yeah, I had a panic attack here until I saw G5.
Yeah, I was figuring you'd find that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it was.
And now he has a
Hold on.
trick
Well,
with knight F3.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this just seems easy. Never get F4. And then
Yeah.
he's really running out of space. He's running out of moves.
Yeah.
So his trick is knight F3 winning a pawn. So queen H6 creates initiative and defends F6 easily.
Right.
You know, one of the things I'd looked
Yeah,
at
he's
here
just
at
kinda
some
running
point in
out
here
of moves.
with you was that you'd be able to maybe play instead of queen up here, you might have like Rook A6 or something, so that you could lift that rook over there and get it over to that side fast.
Does rook A6 sack a pawn though?
I don't know.
Like rook A6, what if you go knight
Knight
F3?
Yeah, I go knight F3.
How do I defend the
Well,
pawn?
yeah.
Bishop takes G4.
Well,
you don't want that to happen.
Another thing,
Just,
have
just
knight
clamp
E6
down
too.
on the position.
Another thing too, what I
Yeah.
was really afraid of wasn't so much. I mean, this is the whole pawn thing over here. Get to later. I was very concerned about the whole idea of coming to C5 with a knight, so you could go to E6 with a knight and then over to F4 with a knight.
Yeah, I thought about it.
Yeah, and it put a
I
real
got
cramp. on
All
the
these
king's
kind of
side.
things are
Yeah.
working for black and
Yeah.
not working, and your bishop
Yeah.
is just
I got really materialistic. like right here is where I got materialistic.
Yeah, well, why not? Yeah,
Well,
materialistic is
So
good.
I could choose to not go for the material. I could play knight to e6.
Why
knight
would you
f4.
do that? To be nice in chess or something?
Well, the knight
I
on
could
f4.
choose not to take your queen, but
No, well, I mean,
Well, one of the things I looked at, you playing with like rook h7 and the other rook over to h8, and you have
Yeah.
three guys on
it's
there.
true.
Have a
It's
hard
going to be
time.
really hard for white.
really hard to find moves.
I considered knight e6, knight f4.
Yeah, that's still a super
I
strong.
think black has got
Well,
several ways
Black's
to win.
chainsaw, I
So I
think
took the
could have.
pawn.
Yeah, this I thought was.
Oh, you sacked the exchange. That surprised me a little.
Well, the reason I did it was because it takes you longer to get the A pawn rolling in
Right.
hopes I have some.
But you have
Well, the shuffle on the buffalo thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so here's where I think you went wrong. Maybe you're going right in a lot of ways. Okay, so your next move, when you retreated the knight to A6,
I was just trying to improve it to c5.
yeah, I actually believed you could play knight C2 right here.
Oh, wow. I looked at it temporarily. I
Well,
didn't
the
look at
reason
it
you
too
can play
deep.
knight C2 is because you're heading to E3.
What if you take my knight?
I have to.
Yeah.
So say take it with what?
The knight,
Okay, so I take it with a knight.
and then take with the bishop.
and then
No, I
queen
think
takes
you play
knight
queen
check.
takes knight check, queen takes rook takes king takes, and then you take Geneva pass pawn. Can't stop it.
Completely missed that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's kind of true.
it's
Yeah.
kind of
Boy,
tricky.
that
But,
knight h2 is really.
yeah, you probably should have found another home like E1 or something.
Knight c2
previously.
might have been if bishop c2 pawn takes. there's
Yeah,
no
there's
way
no
to
way.
stop
There's
it.
no way to stop it.
I guess
There's
I
no
just
way.
didn't.
That's a good move
I was
too,
like,
though.
we went back and I went, oh, good.
Yeah,
At
well,
least I have.
I just thought the knight on
I have a
C5
chance to
looked
do
nice.
this.
Yeah, this is pretty. Yeah,
The problem with this is that move, but I have no choice.
Yeah, and then I.
cover the crucial squares.
And then the
But
Yeah.
now here I had another option. The option was okay. So at this point here,
Oh, you had the trick.
Clarence.
yeah,
I missed the trick. Yeah.
What was the?
the trick was knight F3 here.
Knight e5. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
And now what?
Well,
What
now
did you do?
Well, it's okay because I have
he
f6.
plays F6. But now instead of playing knight D4, which led to nothing really, I thought about maybe just playing E5.
Oh yeah, pawn to e5. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I probably might play a3 anyway.
Okay, so you play A3, then do I have to worry about that?
Well, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna have to worry about it eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably a big way to play knight D4, but I have to give up the piece to stop the pawns because there's no
Yes.
other way to deal with it. And then after that, I'm totally lost.
Yeah.
Oh, probably already right now. But
Oh, so interesting. My knight a6 was not good.
yeah, well, it wasn't as good as the immediate knight C2.
Just made a lot of sense to put another knight.
No, it was good enough. It was plenty good
It was
enough.
plenty- it was-
I think.
It was agonizingly slow. That's what it was.
Yeah, agonizing, a little agonizing for you, Clarence.
I didn't have to calculate much. I was just trying to make you run out.
Well,
of
yeah, we're running out of moves.
Yeah.
I feared- and when the last one, when you get to D3 or wherever that was, I had no choice.
Brian, it's really good to see you playing
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
Tuesday
that's
night
good.
marathon.
Oh, my girlfriend made me.
She did. Who's your girlfriend? I want to meet her and thank her because it's
She's,
great seeing you here.
She's a Mongolian woman,
Uh huh.
and she just gets after me that I don't play enough.
You don't play enough chess.
Well, I like to play video games, and she'll come home and yell at me, why aren't you doing your puzzles? Why aren't you
We
playing?
never hear that the girlfriend says you're not doing enough chess.
She
It's
gets
the other
like,
way around.
get out of the house,
Yeah.
Brian,
She
and come
thinks
and
of
play
it
some
as
chess.
Like, what is
As
wrong
my
with you? You're
career,
playing
you
chess
know?
all the time. That's what I
Chess is your career. I mean, and it's been really good for you, and you're really good at it. And
Well, I started studying a little bit, and then I won Reno,
yeah,
and I gave her a lot of the money. So now she wants me to study, because when I win, she gets some of the money.
I think that's a good motivation for.
Well, that was fun.
But also, Brian, you're a good player. You're a,
Next
you're
up,
a
I like to
master.
say and Bruce.
It's all for fun, you know?
Yeah. All right.
Thank you gentlemen. Next week.
What board was you guys were on board 10. Okay. We never got past H3. Come and sit down. I don't know what happened.
I couldn't remember any of my theory. I think I got that position of the opening.
Okay, that's interesting. What did you know about the opening? You can always look it up afterwards. I'm not very good at opening theory
I know
myself.
the main line here is c5. Bishop b4 is a main line, is a side line, which is kind of borderline, I think.
Probably mostly because black doesn't really want to trade this bishop for this knight.
Well, like it's kind of like a short like it looks like black is trying to prepare bishop e4, but it doesn't really work. I think this is theory, and I think white is better here.
Yeah, I feel like
2 bishops.
I thought you should just be slightly better here, but then once you played bishop d3, I felt like I kind of got out because I have a lot more space now
I don't.
for my pieces.
Yeah, but
I thought just queen d2 instead of bishop d3.
I was looking at some, but where? Okay,
You might want to keep this bishop just to, okay, so here's an idea for white, to play h5.
I was thinking
And
about
then,
h5.
and then to play f4, and then to move and then to try to play f5, and maybe with the bishop at h3, or bishop e2 and castle on the queen side or something like that.
So what I was thinking is, so I know that
H5 is normal, because if black plays h5, it can solve a lot of black's problems here.
actually, I was looking at h5 as early as here, I think.
Yeah,
and
this
I
would be a
calculated
good
that it doesn't
spot.
work at this point, and
Why
then
not?
I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Because I think after h5, I just take it here. First of all.
No. White plays h5.
No, but I
It's
don't
white's
need it right
move.
now because.
But see, if you take on h5, it gives black that f5 square, and I don't know, it's possible.
So
But
I was looking at stuff like h5 and then
But,
maybe g5.
let's see. This is
The reason why I traded is because I know that.
see here. Black could try h5 maybe.
I thought just f3, and I was just waiting.
F3. Gotcha.
He's not. I don't know.
Okay, I got you. And developing is always good. And this is pretty normal plan. Yeah.
See now I play h5.
Yeah. This is.
Yeah,
You should
I
play.
should have played
You should
h5
play
before-
h5 here.
Before f4, yeah.
Right.
I think I just forgot about the threat.
All right. And that's a very good, strong
But
positional
even
move.
Gain the
don't,
f5
because now I mean, yeah.
I thought now I was out. I mean I should at least be equal.
Right. You could, if not better,
Yeah.
you could play g6, but that might allow him to play f5. Okay, so takes, knight f5. Yeah. Stop it right away. Definitely better for black.
Yeah, that was.
Definitely better for black.
Here I calculated
And I said
a
that.
lot because I knew he's trying to play knight g3, so I had to come up with a tactical.
Right.
Sometimes.
Your knights are not supporting each other.
So I played queen a5
I want to understand the situation.
with the idea of knight g3, knight fe3.
Okay, because of check here.
Yeah, there are some nasty.
So I could play the other knight, but then after rook g5, I didn't think I had anything.
I'm not empowered.
So I
So this knight and then rook g5. Okay, so this is interesting.
because I sack a pawn.
Yeah, they love that language, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's
Is it worth it though?
And then b4, and I thought I just had a really strong attack.
And if bishop takes e3, b takes a3, yeah.
Some
Yeah, then I'm
shenanigans with
threatening
queen
queen
A1
e1
trade.
and a takes b2.
Queen A1.
No, queen e1.
Queen e1.
And then the queen.
Well, even better
So-
than it takes b2 is a2, no?
And then
I saw.
Yeah. I mean, if anything that makes a queen is fine.
it's clearly touching.
Well, I mean, if he stopped, I saw a Q line, so I had to calculate this. If he plays bishop e1,
Uh-huh.
I just take on
That's
a3.
like-
Okay, bishop
Take
a5.
a2,
Nice.
Yeah.
and then
Nice.
he can't stop the pawn.
Right.
But I actually kept calculating because, I mean, well, wait. I stopped calculating because I realized you couldn't with checkmate.
Yeah.
And so that's the problem. So that's why I play king b1.
I think maybe you should have went knight e2, because king b1.
Okay, are the top
I-
three boards still
I think I just.
3, 4, 5, 7?
I was looking at knight f1.
Or wait.
92.
I think it's just difficult.
Is that
here.
losing already after king b1? I don't know. Like, it looks like it's losing by force.
B takes a3, 92, B takes a3. B takes a3, I guess. Or rook b8 or something.
I mean, I think.
Strong attack. Oh, I see. The knight at e3 is hanging.
Yeah.
92. You can always go back to f5 with a tempo.
Yeah, so I thought.
And then
I thought I was pretty much.
Yeah, that's a problem.
yeah.
I don't know.
Takes.
Yeah, that's just losing now.
No, I just. calculated.
I'm just made it by force, I think, here.
Yeah. So queen c3, knight d1. And then if he takes his own game.
Yeah.
And then rook b8. And there's just no defense.
That was well played. Yeah, well played, well calculated at the end. Very nice. Yeah.
That was interesting. So that's. Would you mind going back to the
Sure.
bishop d3, because I think maybe this is like the turning point of the game. Like that's maybe my strategic mistake was to play bishop d3.
I don't think bishop d3 is a mistake. I think, well, after having played bishop d3, you need to play h5. When black played h5, you were suddenly faced with a kind of a... I think bishop d3 is okay here.
I thought it was.
I mean, the problem with keeping this bishop is that this bishop is kept, and that's a strong bishop.
But
for
I know,
black.
yeah, this is the thing is I know that in the main line where the bishop is on f8 still. You don't want to trade because the knight from e7 goes to g6 and now it blocks the bishop. It's kind of cramped. But I was thinking, okay, now that bishop is very strong, and my bishop is not doing anything. Like the whole pawn structure, black post pawn structure on the light square, like this huge Caro-Kann pyramid. There's nothing I can do about it. Like, it looks like my bishop is not doing anything. So
okay, so I have an idea. I want to just show you what my idea is to play. White plays pawn h5. White plays pawn f4. White moves the rook from f on h3 over to f3 or g3, and then plays bishop h3 and tries to go for f5.
bishop h3.
Yeah, and then you try to play f5. I mean, it can be difficult to do that, but starting off by playing pawn h5 here is pawn h5 is an indicated move anyway. I mean, so you played bishop d3. I think that's another way of playing it. I mean, you can still play for h5, and
I should have played h5 now. But
I think I viewed the bishops differently, because I mean I think your bishop's already developed on f1, and my bishop looks strong, but
where's it going?
It's not really going anywhere.
Especially since you've exchanged the bishop on f8, it's more difficult for you to play c5 and to develop that kind of... The other thing is, Bruce, you could play king f1 and king g2 and decide that your king is safer on the king side than it is on the queen side. Because the queen side...
or something.
It's funny how quickly black develops his attack,
so it's,
and he took time to.
Actually, when I castled, my plan was to play king b1. I actually didn't think he would push on the queen side.
Yeah, h5 very strong.
Yeah, h5 is
just it's extremely strong in this position because white doesn't have time to play even f5. It's just like right at the right.
I don't think it works.
You know, it's
calculating,
like
sacrificing the exchange, but I don't think it works.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think it just comes at exactly the right time for black, and
Probably not.
so
I should have played h5.
So after b5,
I think
h5, but it seems to me that black is faster here anyway.
But
I don't care. Like I can
maybe
play king
f4,
d2, king
f5.
e2. No?
I didn't feel
That's
like black
true.
was doing that much. Like it's kind of just.
I mean, it's a game. h5, you know, a5, f4, b4, whatever, and then you know, white will try to play f5, you know, and black will play knight b6, but you'll get f5 in.
Yeah.
You've got to get f5 in. That's important. So yeah. So I don't think bishop d3. I mean, all things being equal, you could keep the bishops on. It seems to me you could keep them on or trade them. I think black's already made a concession by exchanging here.
I just
think,
needed the space.
Yeah, you wanted the space. I can see that.
I think you have to, because if you don't, then it's bad.
I can see that.
But also the reason, I mean, Sorry, I'm coming back to this bishop thing. I think this is important for my understanding of the Caro-Kann. I mean, I played as black too, so I kind of know.
I think
But I know, like for example, in the main line, the old main line, like the main line is
bishop
just
D3,
you should play bishop d3 because the bishop on h7 is really strong, and black same thing. White's going to castle queenside, and
that bishop.
if white castle queenside and leaves the bishop on
But
h7,
white can also play king over to the king side and doesn't have to do that.
I think the difference here is that in the main line, the position's more open, so
yeah.
that's why the black bishop is stronger and more worth to trade off. But here, since it's closed, you just have all the time in the world.
Maybe
You don't have to do anything.
Yeah. That might be. Maybe I misevaluated that.
You could play h5, bishop, and then f4, bishop g2 or something, and play the king over to h2 or something like that.
But am I not going to play on the king side?
Yeah, you can play on the king side with your king over there. It's
Okay,
possible.
but I just put my rooks on like h3 and.
Yeah, and bring your other rook
Okay,
over to
then I'm
g1.
just fine. That's.
I mean, it's
That's super easy
possible.
for me.
It's possible. It's possible. You kind of walked into a model black attack, yeah, in a way.
Yeah, the worst is that I saw 93 after knight g3. I calculated and I thought I gotta go for it because I thought he didn't have it, but I miscalculated.
Yeah. The problem with your position after h5, this position is, you know, in my view, okay, maybe sometimes the tactics will work for you. You play knight g3 and blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, black has won the positional fight.
Yeah, that's
You
fine.
know, so you're already in a situation where you have to make things work for you, where you didn't have to,
I thought
you know.
I might have some initiative, but I didn't end up having it. I was even considering after knight f5 playing like after bishop f2 playing like rook g5 and maybe sacking on f5, taking
Right.
back and pushing my pawns, but I never ended up being able to do that.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
thinking also about
Just like what I'm saying is that, you know, like that you're fighting from a position of he's in a situation of
Yeah.
strength.
I
and
shouldn't
you're
have
in a
allowed
situation
h5.
of
h5 was a very big mistake to allow that.
all right, you guys. Well, we'll
Well, thank you, Paul.
yeah, sure. Let's see. Chambers, Walter. We know the result of that. Is Winslow still playing Askin? Yes.
What do you think about this position?
Is your game done?
Yeah.
How'd you do?
I
You
won.
won, yeah. This looks to me like Elliot was in trouble here.
Yeah, I thought so.
And he sacked the exchange.
So what's the compensation?
What
He
is
has
the
5 minutes. Oh wait, he has 5 minutes.
In Queen H4, there's so many
You just couldn't tolerate the
threats.
bishop on e7.
Bishop f6 is just going to.
Yeah, Rook F7, Knight E4, you know,
Yeah, that looks
just
bad.
so many. Bishop F3 and Bishop E4. There's just like so many things, you know.
94.
Yeah.
94, 96 also.
Knight E4, Knight G5, Bishop F3, Bishop E4, Rook F7, Rook G7. And it's like, gosh.
But he has a strong
Yeah,
knight on b4.
It's horrible. I think. Do you know anything about this opening?
What is it?
It was.
46. Oh,
It was this.
No, wait.
It's a Benoni.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, usually when white gets an e5, e6, it's supposed to be better for him.
Now this
But I don't
position, I think Black's isn't E takes D5. Maybe the move here.
How did he allow him?
I think E takes D5 might be the only move here. It's also possible that Queen A5 was the right move after Bishop G5. That Queen A, it's either Queen A5. I think they both are moves. Queen A5 and Queen D6. I think this is Knight A6. I think it might be wrong. And I like I said, I think maybe Black could play E takes D5, but Knight D5. What? Queen B2, Queen B2, Bishop B2, Rook B1. What do you think?
Played Smith.
Is there a way out of that Knight C7 move coming up? White.
I don't know.
I
Yeah,
don't
it looks
know.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't see like how Black can Like black could try to organize counterplay against E2, but I don't see how.
Right, yeah. I've seen this somewhere though. This position after Queen B6, I think. This has got to be book. I mean, it is book.
Looks fine.
But I don't want to find out.
But what's wrong?
Okay, I'm not gonna
Oh, I
give
see,
you
I
an
see.
actual buy.
Maybe Bishop F6 here. Does anybody know out in TV land? I think Queen B6 is right. Queen D2, but then it's Knight A6 that. So ED5, Knight D5. Queen B2, Queen B2, Bishop B2, Rook B1.
C3 is covered.
C3 is covered, and Knight C7 is coming up.
C4 in that position.
How
But
about
you're-
C4 right here?
Oh, right here.
Right here.
Beginning.
Oh, you threatening mate?
It's black's. Oh, yes.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or maybe bishop e3? No, yeah.
That's right, C4.
And then bishop C4, ED5 check.
Next week.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
This week, Thursday.
So,
Maybe
what is that good?
I don't
maybe
know.
just castles after c4.
Castle's queenside, yeah.
Sure.
Knight to bishop e3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I feel this is a book. This is book, and we're just being ignorant here. But Elliot had a bad game here. Has a bad game here after.
Where are we at?
Yeah. Or it looked like
This bishop on e7 is.
What happened?
Oh, yeah. He has two
he
minutes.
played E5 and then Knight
White's getting the
E4.
knight to E4.
Where's the dark? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is
I mean, the knight's
just
coming to.
Elliot's got 2 minutes left.
Or rook d7's a threat.
Yeah, rook d7, rook f8 or something?
Rook d7, knight f6.
Oh, yeah.
Or I mean,
Why? Oh, yeah, yeah. Rook
Yeah,
d7.
that looks pretty good.
I think this is
Oh.
just gone.
Yeah, like in no time either.
Knight G5 is probably a threat.
Yeah.
Knight G6.
Why is knight g5 a threat?
I think everything went.
Knight g5 on h6 and knight f7.
Well, it just
Oh, I
looks
know.
good.
Yeah, okay.
Knight f7 and
You're
it's
right, you're right, you're right. Looks like you're dying here.
Oh boy, now we get in trouble.
He's been in trouble for a long time. Let's see. Russell Wong finally won this game. Let's see, after Bishop
Black won
E3,
about
yeah.
2 points.
Queen C3, yeah, this,
He just traded everything.
he just traded everything, and
No opposite colored bishops.
the opposite colors bishops is not going to save you.
Yeah, that's right.
It's supposed to be a draw.
It's too many pawns.
Yeah. White has only himself to blame for this game, which was very uninspired from the get-go, I thought. What about your game, Tenzing? You played a nice game.
You guys want to sit down?
King D2. Yeah, Tenzing, come sit. Yeah. Oh yeah, you guys. What? Can you guys come sit down, and both of you, and I'll take a little break. Is that okay? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Let's take that one.
You move the pieces. Yeah, come sit over there, and we have Christian Clemens in the pink shirt, and Tenzing Shaw in the blue shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had actually played this
You
one
guys can-
before.
Right, and I remembered it.
I had forgotten that you played the Petrov, and so
Right.
but then when you played it, I remembered the game. So
Right, and I remembered it too. So it's, I think Queen E7 here.
yeah.
We're really, yeah, and then there.
Can you also get that mouse fixed?
Oh yeah, I guess I have a mouse too. So Bishop E6 here. I was also considering. I was also considering maybe C6 immediately. Hey, you know, I was also considering G6 immediately because I saw B3. I saw B3 and Bishop B2 coming, and I thought, you know, maybe I need to contest that diagonal immediately.
Like instead of bishop e6.
Right. I figured because I.
Well, I have knight d5. Right? think
That's
you've
right.
got to stop knight d5. So
You're right,
so
and I think I
bishop
did.
d6 is a good move.
Right, and I did run into trouble in our previous game because it didn't clog the e file fast enough. So,
Yeah.
so bishop e6, and then b3.
I thought you might go for queen f6, but I don't know.
I was considering queen f6.
Yeah. It's probably okay for you, but I don't know. It's complicated.
Right. So c6, and I
But the way
figured.
you played looks fine.
Right, g3. Yeah, and here I thought, I at least have my pieces. My pieces are getting out quickly, and I've gotten in d5 already. Maybe a little more space. But I still haven't figured out what to do with that dark squared bishop, and so I feel like I've kind of committed to castle and queenside.
Yeah.
And so I thought if I'm going to commit to it, then I might as well do it as fast as I possibly can and get my pieces in action.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
You don't think you can play knight f6, g6, bishop g7?
I looked at a lot of lines with either knight to g6. So when you played bishop g2, if there were a couple reasons. So I didn't play. I was thinking of knight from d to f6.
Yeah.
I didn't like it because of d3, and then I just feel like it's a bit of an awkward setup. Even though I feel like I have more space, just my pieces are tripping over each other.
A little
And
bit. It should be okay for you, but
I also consider knight from e to f6.
yeah.
I'm trying to remember why I didn't play it because.
f3 maybe? That looks a little bit awkward. Oh, maybe.
Oh, I mean the other
maybe?
knight.
Knight d or knight e2?
Knight EF.
I did end up playing knight d6 on the next move anyway. So.
So here's what happened.
So yeah, exactly. I figured I can't be that much worse. All I have to do is solve one piece. So,
This
so knight
looks
back to
reasonable for
d6 because I'm still afraid of bishop a3. This is pretty reasonable. Knight to d2.
I don't know.
Maybe a little slow.
Maybe h5. Maybe.
That was my plan. h5, and then I figured, are you going to play h4?
Probably. And then I'll have to think twice about castling kingside, maybe.
Right.
Maybe
exactly.
I still can, but it's more dangerous.
h5, h4, and then I still have to solve the problem with that bishop on f8, and so I was actually going to play a rook lift probably. But I didn't really see where my rook was going. I kind of felt like it was a bridge to nowhere.
What do you think h5 here for black? Or,
That was my original plan.
Yeah,
h5?
yeah. I like the queen side attack versus the king side attack.
Right. I'm not usually comfortable in this kind of position.
Quickly sputtered out, right?
Yeah, I was
Well, I did
hoping
something
for
different,
some
but
fireworks, but no.
But so if h5 then h4 and then I figured I've still got to move my g pawn somehow and get that bishop out, but
yeah, but you can't play bishop g7 because d5 would hang. So I was hoping you would do that.
Oh, immediately, right.
Yeah.
Maybe G5 instead of G6.
Maybe.
Oh, G5, yeah, I considered it.
Yeah, it's more
Maybe
aggressive.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think black is fine. Has done well here,
I think
and
so.
actually, but you just like you've got to match white. White's putting in some kind of slow burn queen side attack,
Right.
and so you have to be aggressive.
Mm-hmm. And that's how I lost the first game that we played in this opening. It was much worse for me in the first game. So but at the same time, I figured I really have one problem piece, and that's my bishop on f8.
Right.
So if I solve that problem, then maybe things are a little better.
Now, bishop g4 I thought was wrong because
Just giving up the two bishops.
it lost a tempo as well, right? Ultimately,
You know what I was
in a way.
afraid of was rook f to b1, and so I figured if I could slow him down for a couple moves
I'm
from
probably
that.
just gonna go b5 next.
Well, go
Right.
h4. I mean, and
H4 now,
there's
okay.
Maybe some consistency in
h4 then b5.
Yeah, I expected that to happen, but I thought
I
it would
think
be
bishop
exciting.
g4 kind of lost.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
think I
like,
spent.
okay, White's not going to play knight g4.
I think I spent a long time on it, and I couldn't quite figure out the right plan here.
Maybe
Yeah.
like G5
Okay.
F5
All right.
instead of
Bye.
Sorry, what now?
so like that would have been the
Yeah.
ideal attacking setup, like G5 F5.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Just push the pawns. Yeah, I know you're supposed to push the pawns when you have opposite side castling. I couldn't
not
see
really.
h4 really going anywhere, but then
I guess I'm not really set up for f4 because black can play bishop h6.
right, and that kind of did happen at some lines in the game. What did I do instead? So I played bishop g4. Okay, queen e1. I actually kind of like my position here
I don't know if
because I did feel like I had a lot of counterplay against D3. Although there's a lot of lines of bishop D4.
Yeah, it seemed to me you were doing okay. I mean,
I thought about playing
I feel like this
F4,
was
but I
terrible.
don't know.
And I thought if you play F4, I was probably going to play Rook G to E8.
Yeah. I don't think it really helps me that much.
No, because I really just want to. If I get the queens off the board, that's kind of my next project here. I think. G4, yeah.
But I was happy with this. I mean, like, I have two bishops at least.
Two
Although
bishops
this
and
bishop
this
is not
pawn
so
structure. Right,
fantastic.
exactly. But you're going to get B5 in almost immediately.
Yeah. I'm going to do my best to improve it, but...
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you play B5 immediately. I say here I spent about 10 minutes on each of the next 4 or 5 moves because I wasn't sure whether I should trade these rooks off.
Maybe I should. I don't know. There's
quite
also
a
H3.
minimal advantage.
I like the way you play this.
I mean, it
because
seems to me that black should find a way to probably
I think so. Yeah.
hold this.
Just because
Right,
this
this
bishop
is,
is not like...
I think this is the kind of position where you can play forever though because my knights really have no good squares that I can see.
Yeah, that's
I mean, unless I
the
can get one
That
to
is true.
G5 and then put it on F3 or H3.
Yeah.
Maybe after b5, bishop g5, f6.
I'll play B5 now.
Well, I mean,
Bishop
after
G5 to F6. Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
trade
interesting.
some pieces.
Yeah, I also kind of agonized over the trade that dark square bishop because on the one hand, I've got all my pawns on light squares. On the other hand,
I'm getting down
bishop,
into the.
yeah. On the other hand, his bishop just became a monster. So
Okay, I will. All right. Okay. Sure.
So and so I did
I'll be
trade.
the host again. You
Oh,
can,
please,
you
yeah.
come sit over here.
Yeah.
The natural order of things, right?
So here I considered rook b1. Just letting the rook come down because I have
This was another moment where it took probably 10 minutes just to figure out whether I wanted to trade this pair of rooks, and I'm still not sure if I was right to do it. It kind of lost an important tempo where my knight was kind of needed on d6, I thought, and now it's not on d6 anymore after he traded it off.
It feels
Let's see what happened. There was a moment here.
I want to improve my bishop.
Yeah. So
here I think c takes b5 is like the
That
turning
looks
point.
like
It
that.
looked bad.
It looks bad.
I think you gotta
Just take on H3 and play
play
King
F5
C7 or F5
Yeah,
or
That's what I thought.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
Yeah, C takes B5 is
Now-
asking for it.
So
right.
if I play, so here's the line I was
my
looking
two
at.
bishops really shine.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
really did. So if G takes H3, bishop takes H3, king C7, B takes C6. Let's say I take back with the B pawn.
I think you have
Bishop
to,
D4. And then I've got to do something with
A6.
my A6.
But then I can take a knight c5 once they...
Exactly. Yeah, that's what
All
I
right,
saw.
so take and play F5 instead.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I was thinking maybe even g4.
Right. I thought you would.
Then you
play
could
G4.
take and play knight F6
Oh, it's
with
been though.
attack. You know, the other knight. Oh, yeah,
So-
you're
so
right,
I
you're
think
right,
That's
you're right.
I think
That's a
you're. I
problem.
think you're all right when you say that trading rooks was too slow. I think I needed my knight on D6 in this position.
I feel like there should... I feel like maybe black can play f5 here.
Ooh,
That's an
just take
interesting
those,
idea.
Just accept those
Yeah.
nasty
Because
pawns.
g4 looks like it's going to be weak, but it takes me some time to attack it, so maybe it's not the end of the world. I don't know.
The G6 is also a little weak.
Takes bishop D4.
Maybe I play
I'm
bishop
trying.
f1,
I'm
bishop
trying to look
d2.
at that line again with A6, Bishop D7. It's incredible. Yeah,
Yeah.
win a pawn.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a knight fork at the end. That's kind of the consequence of. Yes. So I took on B5, and then I played knight D6. That's kind of.
It just goes to show you that this position is not easy at all.
Not at all. I knew he could play forever here.
Yeah,
Bishop takes
because
B5.
otherwise
I
you
didn't
might
consider
defend
this
d5.
first. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't consider that.
I gotta get my bishop active.
I really wanted to play knight B6 instead, but
So, is there a problematic way for black to try to draw? Maybe you can play some G5 and G4 or something.
If,
I wanted to.
way?
But
if
if
g5, I go
G5
g4 probably.
Breaking news, folks! Elliot Winslow lost his game.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow. And we have the defeater of the mighty
Maybe I should
right here.
should make way here.
Well, let's look at the last.
Sure.
Was there any more moments in this game?
I feel like I kind of kept it going for a while. I didn't see any way to keep that h3 pawn.
This seemed to make matter. I mean, this did nothing for you, right?
Did nothing for me, and I missed bishop g4 because I really wanted to trade those bishops off, but I decided too late again.
And what about this position? Is f5 necessary? I mean, there's a lot of moves here that are.
That's pretty dead, isn't it? No, G7 looks pretty bad.
Yeah.
Kind of a.
Well, it could have gone to h5 to f6, or I don't know.
Oh, you played G.
So what about this? This is just lost.
This is lost. Yeah, the knight's trap.
The knight's
I realized
trap,
here I was
yeah.
I was just playing for tricks.
Instead
Finally
of
won
playing
it.
D6, and you consider playing A6, that was at least your only chance of getting a fast pawn.
Yeah, and I was afraid the c pawn would just kind of run a little bit.
All right, we're going to get David Askin in.
absolutely.
Nice game, Tenzing. We'll get David Askin in, who just defeated Elliot Winslow. All right, David. This looked like Elliot not knowing his... You were just crushed him. I mean, it looked like Elliot not knowing his opening theory. That's kind of what it looked like to me. I
We
mean,
played a game about 3 years ago in this line, and he deviated a move earlier than the main line and got just sort of a normal game. But this opening, when I prepared for him about 3 years ago, I looked a lot at this line, and so I was reasonably familiar with it. I just had to remember it. But I mean, he's certainly fine for a while. I think that there's probably...
now, I'm not sure. This position... Is this normal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
So
don't laugh at me back home, folks.
Both
This is
D6
like
and Bishop G5 are okay here.
what?
D6 is
Queen D6.
Oh no, I mean for white, instead of playing Bishop G5, I could have played D6.
Okay.
Yeah. And
But
then
now Queen B6 is the right move.
Queen B. I mean, you can also play
Queen
Knight
A5.
F6. You can also play Queen A5.
Okay.
I think Queen B6 is what Stockfish prefers.
Right.
Certainly, this is the line that.
But now I think that Elliot made a mistake. I mean, that's my guess. Is Knight A6 is a mistake. What's the right move here?
I
for
feel like
Black?
if C Knight A6, I mean, I think Bishop D7 is a move.
How about C4? We're looking at C4.
You can play C4. If you play C4, I'm going to castle queenside.
Right. Okay.
And C4 certainly is good.
Maybe it's not good.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the best move.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, I think he. Knight A6 certainly,
You've
like that
got
was
to
an
know
oddly
theory.
positioned knight.
You've got to know some theory going into this. I'm sorry, I didn't
I
play
don't
the
know
game,
theory.
so I don't know the theory, and
I don't know theory either. I'm just trying to remember some games I looked at 3 years ago. But I mean, Knight A6 ends up being a very awkward piece. But I do think he has to try to develop those pieces. He's got a pawn, and if he can get his pieces out, a pawn's a pawn. I think that. I feel like Knight A6 is a move. I don't think that he's.
Well, it seemed to me
at that point.
It seemed to me he never got back into this game. I mean, maybe now C4. What's the move here? I mean, where did Black go wrong? I mean, now you repel him. You didn't get C4 in, so.
Yeah. Well, one thing you could do is, Knight F7 I found annoying, but maybe it's better to trade the knights.
And you castled on the king's side.
Right.
Yeah, or find some. How about knight takes f3 and bishop d4 check?
Right. I
and
mean,
then taking off that pawn on d6. Of course, you can feed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just throwing moves out there.
No, actually, that looks quite good. I think I probably made some small mistake here. If he plays knight takes f3, bishop takes f3, bishop d4, I don't see how I save the pawn.
Well, you might not be able to, but you're getting the bishop pawn back at b7.
And then a6. Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's got. I mean, what happens is horrible. That was a good move.
Yeah, I thought a long time at this move. I was trying to calculate.
You're keeping your eye on the ball here, which is really great.
Well, what I was thinking is hang on to the pawn and get another piece into the game. The rook becomes better. getting over to the D file. I'm okay with him trading the knight for the bishop because I think the asset that I have in this position is his king side's a little loose, and so if he wants to trade
but
off some
maybe he
pieces,
should
I think that's to my benefit.
play knight g5. That's true. It looks to me this didn't help black at all. That's interesting that you played king h1 and then after rook c8, then you played bishop e3. That worked out very well.
Right.
And it seems to me that maybe, I don't know, he should have played knight g5, but maybe not. This is just hopeless. I'm sure you're going to find that this is like +3 in Stockfish or something. I mean, I don't think this is defendable anymore.
I mean, I can make a mistake. Certainly, I mean, with my rating, he's.
Well, you've got so many great attacking ideas here. Bishop f3 and knight e4, and it's just, and
this bishop is just terrible. His knight's going to take 3 moves to get into the game.
And is that the right move? I mean, maybe knight c5 is better. I don't know. It's like a whole bunch of mistakes. This is
I
way
think,
too slow.
Yeah, I don't like b5. I mean, the knight. At least he's trying to get that knight over to somewhere active. b5, I feel like he's not taking seriously.
You know what? I think he's lost. He's close to lost here.
Yeah, but maybe there's some other way to make it more difficult at that point.
I mean, you've got bishop f3, bishop e4. You've got all these attacking queen f4.
Yeah, and he can't play knight d5.
You might as well play
b5.
b5.
So, yeah,
you might as well play b5.
Yeah, I wasn't even sure here if I'm playing the best moves. It seemed like a slightly awkward maneuver.
You've got everything going for you here. Bishop f3, bishop e4, knight e4, knight g5, rook f7. I mean, it's like he's coming under a devastating attack.
Yeah.
There's just
play too.
Yeah. This is hopeless. It doesn't even help. It looked to me like, and that's kind of brutal decision making on your part, and you just have to. So if he plays queen e4, you've got queen f8 check.
Queen F8, yeah. I mean, this is over at this point. And he flags.
He flags.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Rook d8. Rook d8 just wins right on the board.
Yeah.
You
I
can't play queen
e6. I was
nice
to
game.
get a position out of the opening.
Nice game. He didn't know his theory, and I think, and neither did I. But I wasn't playing the game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the theory either. I'm lucky that he played a bunch of moves that I'd seen. Again, I played a similar position against him, where instead of playing rook e8, he plays bishop g4 in the opening, and it just ends up being sort of some normal game. And I was fortunate to draw that one. But this one, I mean, he just played, the first 16 moves are all exactly moves that I've seen. And so I was just much more familiar with this position than I usually am when I get an opening. I don't do heavy prep. I look at some games and get an idea of what kind of position I might get. And, I just was lucky that he played right into something that I was pretty familiar with.
You played a great game, a very good game, and knocked off arguably the strongest player in the chess tournament. You didn't get off to a good start, but you did.
Sometimes he falls for upsets in the early rounds, and then he crushes people in the late rounds.
It's incredible how he just owns this chess tournament.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, it's amazing. But you dealt him a serious blow here, I think, with...
Well, it was a nice win. I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with how my game went.
Yeah, no, it was a good game. And I doubt if there's any moves of yours that can be seriously faulted in this. That I have a feeling you're going to look this up and be proud of the way you finished him off. Okay. All right. Thanks, David. All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see if there's what other games. All the games on the top boards are finished, and it looks like there was not even one upset, except for David Askin versus Elliot Winslow. So we're pretty much finished with our first round of the Summer Tuesday Night Marathon. So I'm going to sign off. I'm FIDE Master Paul Whitehead. It's been a a return after 3 weeks. Back to the Tuesday Night Marathon and our broadcasts, and thanks for joining us. And we're going to archive this video up onto YouTube as we have archived our other videos.
Still streaming?
Yep, here's, well, we just finished so
Signing off.
I'm going to sign off, and good night, everybody. All right. I'm going to stop streaming. Yeah.